Florida. The saga continues. It is a warm and muggy September afternoon in Gainesville. The temperature about to rise as the Volunteers of Tennessee march on the Florida field at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. They were not about to wait. The Volunteers under Philip Fulmer jump the gun. Smokey helps lead them away, and they are met with a gator chomp. The defending national champions ready to make their appearance before 90,000 at home. Celebrate 75 years of football in the Southeast Conference. We welcome you to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium for the Home Depot SEC on CBS. The Volunteers against Florida. We might as well start the season for us with a game of some significance. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist, along with Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson. Florida, the defending national champion. They've played twice. We've had a chance to kind of watch what's going on. What do you find unique about the start of this year?
Well, I think unique is the word, Vern. I mean, it's still the same names. I mean, USC, you've got LSU, look at the top. Michigan is making a name for themselves in the wrong way to start. And the defending national champions, I think will make a run here if they can get it going early in the year when they're young. But the big key to me so far this year, and I think the key to 2007, you better bring your A game or you're not going to win.
We have two outstanding quarterbacks we're going to highlight in this one. Let's start with the senior, Eric Ainge for Tennessee.
Vern, I think he was on his way to a possible SEC MVP. Injured that ankle, and it kind of changed Tennessee's fortune. Now, nobody in college football is going to have more on his shoulders than Eric Ainge. He's going to run that Peyton Manning no-huddle offense. He's going to have to get this team in the right play, the right run, the right pass, and then he's going to have to be physically gifted to do it. He doesn't have a lot of game breakers. This guy came back. He would have been drafted. He came back to do it, and this is a legacy game for him today.
Well, on the other side, the sophomore, it is finally Tim Tebow's team.
I really can't wait. I mean, we know he's got it. I mean, it's not a finished product. We know that. It's polishing a diamond, though. This guy is a future run at a Heisman Trophy. He can throw. He can do it all, but I'll tell you, he's got help. He's got weapons all over the field. He's got speed. There's 5 of them right there, and maybe his best one isn't playing.
Well, that best one might be Andre Caldwell. He's out. For more on that, here's Tracy Wolfson.
That's right, Vern. The Gators don't only lose their top receiver in Andre Caldwell, they lose one of the leaders and captains of this team. Caldwell sprained his MCL in his right knee last week against Troy. He was on the sideline today, running up and down, trying to see what he can do. They said he should be out 2 to 3 weeks. He will be on the sideline during the game, motivating his team, and most importantly, helping those young receivers step up in his place. Guys?
All right, thank you, Tracy. A full house, as you might expect, and experience SEC college football on CBS, brought to you in high definition by Sony. 92 degrees. We have a chance of scattered thunderstorms later this afternoon. You can see those partly cloudy skies right now. These two teams meeting for only the 37th time. That's a bit of a surprise. Florida 8-5 at home. The team with the most rushing yards has won 15 of the last 17 meetings, and the Volunteers have won 2 of the last 3 here in Florida Field. Joey Eos will kick off. Tennessee won the toss and elected to receive. Very little of that saving the option for the second half.
And
now.
that's just a result of kicking off from that 30-yard line. Tennessee wants field position early.
Here's Eos with the kick. Lennon Greer. And this is LaMarcus Coker, who was also back, number 22. And so Coker, who missed the first game of the season, serving a suspension for violation of team rules. Eric Ainge is on first, 4th year as a starter. And the lineup's presented by Applebee's. You saw Ainge at quarterback. Young, Parker, McNeil, Scott, and Foster up front. Taylor, Brown, Foster, Cottom, and Rogers. First down and 10. Ainge hands it off to Arian Foster, left tackle. 1 yard after the 31-yard line. Stop is made by Derek Harvey, number 91. He's one of the anchors and one of 2 returning starters for the national champions defensively elsewhere. Harvey, Stupinen, McMillan, and Cunningham. The linebackers watch the middle. Brandon Spikes off to a great start. And a very young secondary anchored by Tony Joyner. Joe Hayden is a true freshman at right corner. Second down and 8.
See Tony Joyner right up in the box. Eric Ainge will check out, probably throw a pass. 8 in the box.
Split receivers to the left side. Here's Ainge, play fake. Rolls left, flips it out for Chris Brown. And he is stopped by Joe Hayden, number 12.
Pretty special player Joe Hayden is. Starting at corner for Florida. Never played corner in his high school career. Was actually a quarterback.
Played occasionally as a wide receiver and came here as a wide receiver. That lasted through spring practice. And the defensive guys said, we want him on our side. Here's Ainge on 3rd and 6. Four-man rush for the Gators. Got a man open. It's dropped. Austin Rogers, number 21, who's fresh from the best game of his career in the win over Southern Mississippi. That one slipped through the fingers.
Eric Ainge knew exactly what the coverage was going to be. It was man-free. He went to the right guy, threw a perfect ball, and his possession receiver that has to make that play to beat Florida here in the swamp drops it.
Britton Colquitt, who missed last week's game, he's been bothered by an injured quad. He's back today, and Brandon James, number 25, awaits the punt at the 23-yard line. He could be a game breaker today. Here's James. As I said, no flags. Brandon James, touchdown Florida. 83-yard return of a 50-yard punt. He had a 90-yarder called back for a penalty in last year's game in Knoxville. Joey Eos is on to try the extra point. How about a quick start?
Hey, Vern, you know those 5 guys I put up with all that speed?
Yeah.
This guy wasn't one of the 5. That's not good news when you're playing Florida. They got guys coming off the bench that can run right there, gashing it right up there. And once he gets into the secondary, no one's catching these Florida speed guys.
Brandon James, 83, touchdown Gators. '83-yard run by Brandon James, the sophomore. Worth another look, Gary.
Yeah, you know, Vern, excuse me. I thought Tennessee needed to tie in special teams. Just a tie was a win for them. It's not tied. Special teams is not tied.
Brandon James, second of his career, and as we mentioned, 90-yarder negated last year. He also sat out the first game of this season because of a violation of team rules. So Brandon James, the sophomore in his second season.
Really was a stomach punch. That's what somebody said. I agree. One team drops a first down. you punt, the other team takes it all the way down, just like Cal when they broke Tennessee's back with that 77-yarder by Deshaun Jackson.
Cal victors over Tennessee in the first game of the season. They then defeated Southern Mississippi, so they came in 1-1. Here's Lamar Coker, popped at the 25-yard line. Still going. Special teams. That's Riley Cooper who chases him down.
Wow.
Cooper about the only guy out there with an angle and the speed to catch up with Coker.
You know, Florida kind of gave up on that play. You weren't the only, I mean, we did. We kind of looked down on our notes as if he was tackled, and Coker just goes. I mean, there was a big hit on the play, but not a wrap-up. It's a good thing Cooper was on the field, because if Riley Cooper isn't out there, who's one of those speed guys, nobody's going to catch LaMarcus Coker.
That was Lorenzo Edwards, number 22, who missed the tackle. And a 74-yard kickoff return by the Volunteers.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. Boy, with this new kickoff yardage.
Handoff Foster, met at the line, driven down, gain of about 1. Derek Harvey. Well, probably the most significant rules change is the decision to move the kickoff back to the 30, but there's some timing changes too. For the most part, they've reverted back to the rules that existed 2 years ago.
Vern, I believe this is the biggest rule change since they allowed offensive linemen to block with an extended arm. That created the passing game. This is creating the kickoff return game and great field position.
Second down, 9. Ainge rolls left, flips it out. It's caught this time at the 20-yard line. Catch is made by Austin Rogers, number 21. Well, Eric Ainge out of Hillsboro, Oregon, of the prominent Ainge family. The well-known fact that his Uncle Danny is a senior man at the Boston Celtics for the season against Florida 1-2. That first win, he actually did not start the game. Brent Schaefer did, but they came on and achieved the victory. 3rd and 2. Ainge under center. That's Chris Brown who comes in tight. Now he moves back with Jeff Cottom. So the strength is to the right side. Foster. Helmet is gone, and it appears that Foster has enough for the first down. This, well, let's see.
Tennessee better be able to run the ball inside against Florida. If there is a weak part of this football team, a part that even Florida is concerned about, is a run right at them.
You spent some time in Knoxville this week, and they emphasized that blocking up front, did they not?
Sure did, and they felt the not their plays weren't good in the past. It was their technique. Florida stunts a lot, and the phrase that I heard all day at the practice field, just short.
Yep.
Yeah, inches. Was center up. Center up your blocks. They felt too many times they were blocking, you know, half the Florida Gator or 3/4. Center up, put your head in the center.
Well, Philip Fulmer will apparently eschew the field goal attempt.
Yeah, you got to go for it. This is another result of that rule. If you kick a field goal, Florida gets the ball back.
Jonathan Crumpton is in the lineup.
Yeah, that'll be for the quarterback sneak. They don't want Ainge to run it.
Because of a shoulder problem.
And a finger.
And a broken pinky. Here's Crumpton. There's movement in the line. And there may have been a jump by Florida.
Wait, Tennessee needs us to go against Florida. And it looks like it is.
Steve Shaw is the referee, one of the best in this part of the country.
Number 93 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. It will result in a first down.
Estepina, number 93. And so Ainge is back in. Urban Meyer, 3rd year here. They have won 15 in a row at home. He's undefeated here. And recall that Juan Zook, one of his problems as a head coach of Florida, they lost 6 games in 3 years. So part of what Meyer wanted to accomplish was to reclaim the swamp. Red zone offense. Volunteers have excelled this year. Here's Ainge in the corner. Whoops. Well, explain that one to me.
He caught a corner blitz on the play. He thought he was going to get a hitch or maybe a fade route to the outside. All of a sudden he stared at a corner blitz, and that's going to be the biggest problem Eric Ainge has, is throwing when he's kind of surprised. He told me that when he's in rhythm, that taped finger to his ring finger doesn't bother him. But when he has to throw under surprise, the ball sails on him, and you saw it happen right there.
Out of the gun on second down. Foster again, the featured back. 3 wides. Ainge with time. Across the middle, incomplete. Tony Joyner was defending the pass intended for Josh Briscoe. Here's Joyner. He's the other returning starter on this defensive
Not
time.
a good throw. Excuse me, Vern. He could have had it one-on-one against Joyner. Ball is too high and not out in front. See, look at that. A good throw would have been a touchdown. You've got a wide receiver on a strong safety. Tennessee should have won that. That's schemed exactly the way. You see it. Slapped his hands. Eric was upset.
3rd and 10. Stunts by the defensive line. Ainge comes right, intercepted. Picked off at the 9-yard line. The grab made by Marky Anderson, number 14, who missed the first game with an injury. Spot duty last week, and he is Johnny on the spot here.
You just have to run good routes against good athletes. And right here, Ainge and the receiver were not on the same page. Watch this. There was a delay to the inside. The receiver slows up. All of a sudden, the defensive back comes and gets it. First interception in the last 240-plus throws.
That's right.
Second, excuse me. First this year.
4 minutes into the first quarter, and Tim Tebow finally gets his first start in an SEC game. The sophomore from St. Augustine, and the play is being reviewed, we are told. All plays constantly reviewed in college football, and this one under review upstairs. Steve Shaw on the headset.
I didn't really notice it that much. It looked like, they had their backs to us here in the booth. I didn't get a clear picture of it. Looked like Anderson got it very cleanly to me. It's a big play. It deserves to be reviewed,
Yes,
doesn't it?
indeed. So Steve Shaw waits.
4-point play at least.
And Eric Ainge, having thrown that first interception of the year.
It was Quentin Hancock, number 87.
Right.
It was coming in. We couldn't tell for a while if it was Arian Foster or Hancock. You can see Anderson beats. Is it dual position or not? I think Anderson has. They fight for it pretty well, don't they?
Well, Bob Patrick is the review official, the replay official.
I'll tell you, I give Quentin Hancock a lot of credit here. That ball should have been picked off, and he fought all the way to even make it a play. Anderson had a beat on him, and Hancock does not give up on it.
Well, we are back to that old saw about indisputable visual evidence.
I know. Let's see, look at Anderson's right there. He should make the play, but Hancock, who's actually behind him, fights and fights and fights. And do they call it a simultaneous catch or not? It's going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Okay.
Not that I sit on a fence, but, I've had 2 weeks off.
Do those pickets hurt?
Yeah, of course they do.
And so the play under review. Possession is the issue. And here's Steve Shaw with the issue and the answer.
After review, video confirms the call on the field. It was an interception.
And
Now,
so Tim Tebow comes on.
One point here, Vern. Now, Florida only has a 15-second clock now as they come on the field. They don't have the full 25-second clock, and that's something new as we showed you the rules. Florida has to be ready to snap it.
Urban Meyer expressing his, I don't want to say disgust, but his irritation with that new rule. Yeah, he was not happy. First down and 10. Corner blitz coming. Tebow, this looks like last year, doesn't it? On first down, he's out to the 11-yard line. I thought things had changed.
Yeah.
Tebow at quarterback. Let's check the offensive line. Here's Tim Tebow having a sensational start. 152 yards rushing up front. Watkins, Tart, Miller, Pouncey, true freshman who started the first game, missed last week, and Metter. Here are the speed guys you were talking about.
Yeah, they are speed, and they're beautiful receivers. They catch the ball, great routes.
Percy Harvin, top of the screen.
can see Tennessee has gone with a 3-man line against this complicated 5-man spread offense.
On second down, Tebow gets the snap, and again it looks like 2006. Except this time,
Except for the tackle.
DeMonte Bolden, number 98, was there. They do line up in a 3-man line, but we'll show you the 4 who normally are down. Mitchell, Bolden, Dan Williams, Antonio Reynolds. The linebackers are led by the middle linebacker Gerard Mayo, Rico McCoy having a good season, and Carl on the outside. Eric Berry, true freshman, Gerard Parrish, Jonathan Hefney, and Marsalis Johnson. Here's the chief, defensive coordinator John Chavis. Keyston Moore comes over in the slot to the left side. Now goes in motion. On third down, Tebow bobbled it, picks it up. This looks even more like last year. Nice tackle. Beautiful. 3 and out for the Florida offense.
And Barry just executed. I'm going to give you the Tennessee game plan on Tebow. Tackle him low. They'd love to be physical with him. You know, you got that kind of like manhood in you. You want to take out a quarterback. But all week, all day Wednesday when I was there, it was take Tebow low, and that's exactly what Eric Berry did.
Jazz Henry has replaced Eric Wilbur, the graduated Eric Wilbur, as the punter. He's a freshman out of Dallas, Georgia. Highly recruited as a punter. He also played as a quarterback. And here's Henry. Jonathan Hefney awaits the punt. Calls for the fair catch, grabs it at the 49-yard line. 37-yard punt. But most importantly, nothing on the return.
Yeah, and you're talking about a guy that just did the game plan exactly the way you want to do that. Can they do that all day to Tebow? We'll see. It's his first toss. Did you see that on the promo?
Bill Cowher has joined our guys in the NFL today. First down 10 from the 49. 7-0. Ainge with 2 receivers left, 1 right. Florida, straight 4-man rush. Lucas Taylor out on the right side, and the catch is made. The play forced out of bounds at the 44-yard line by Joe Hayden, number 12. Fort Washington, Maryland. High school quarterback, did play some receiver, and a terrific story from Tony Joyner about how he saw them in the spring, and he saw all the wide receivers that Florida had, and he saw Joe Hayden. He said, we need him on this side of the ball. We're weak at corners. Second down. Here's Ainge. Draw play. Foster comes right. Met in the middle by Brandon Spikes, number 51. Spikes, who replaces Brandon Seiler in that middle spot. They expect big things out of him.
They sure do. Maybe a tad more athletic. Now, you can take that with a grain of salt. You know, a lot of great athletes don't have the production of what Brandon Seiler did for Florida, but maybe run just a bit better than Brandon did.
Well, we're having graphic difficulties down in our truck, so the full-time score and clock is inoperative at the moment. We'll keep you posted. 8:08 to go in the first quarter. 3 tight ends in on 3rd and short. Foster weaves. I don't know. It would appear a foot short. Boy, am I counting on aging eyeballs for that.
Well, but I'll tell you what, that is just a sad story and a familiar story for Tennessee Volunteer fans, not being able to run the ball with power. Josh McNeil gets beat inside, and Tennessee hung their hat on being able to run the ball between the tackles against Florida today. And so far, Florida is winning that battle up front.
Well, a year ago in the 1-point loss at home in Knoxville, Tennessee rushed for minus 11 yards on 17 carries. That's low in Philip Fulmer's career. Line drive punt, but it's effective. It'll be out. Oh, yes, it is effective. I thought maybe he'd angled that little puppy out of bounds inside the 5, but not to be. So Colquitt unhappy with the end result. It's a touchback. Florida leads it 7-0. You watch Tim Tebow, and we introduce you to the Home Depot tools for success.
Well, there's been a little remodeling being done through Home Depot since last year. Tim Tebow, there was a bit of a flaw in his delivery. Now watch his right shoulder opposite. He's a left-hander. The problem was concerning, as the coaches said, he dipped that right shoulder, and that put pressure on his left shoulder. So he went to modern technology, plotted out his throwing motion, and then the computer showed him that he needed to keep the right shoulder up and twisting. So Dan Mullen, his quarterback coach, worked with Tim all spring and all fall to twist, short step and twist when he throws that ball. It's easy to do in practice, Vern, but can he do it in the game?
I thought Dan Mullen in his office yesterday morning, he did a very good show and tell.
Well, you know, Vern, we had him put you on it. I'm going to tell you this right after this play, what your problem is. Okay?
I can't. Well, I've several. First down and 10. Here's Tebow, who's yet to throw, and he'll keep it again and again. He pays a price. And let's go back to our studio for this Liberty Mutual update. For the first time today, here's Timmy B.
Vernon, Gary, it won't be the last. Here's the other hot topic in the SEC. Auburn loses to Mississippi State. Sylvester Croom gets a huge victory. He beat Bama last year, beats Auburn today on the Plains. He's 2-0 in his home state. Back to Vern.
All right, Tim, as long as you don't become the fly in the ointment, we'll be fine. Second down. And here's Tebow. This time he hands it off to Keyston Moore. A quick opener and a first down Florida at the 32. Flag is thrown late in the offensive backfield.
That one's coming back. There's no doubt it was a grab inside on that one. I think it might have been Jim Tart or Drew Miller that grabbed that play. Is just that dive play. Keyston Moore is such a better north-south runner than he was a year ago.
Holding, number 63 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, from the previous spot. Repeat the down.
It was Jim Tart, left guard, number 63. You can see it right there, right in the middle of your screen right there. Tart going to get a, must have got some jersey. That's easy. It's easier to call right there. Get under the arm, grab the guy. You're going to get a penalty. Nothing from the Florida offense so far. Will they put it in the air?
Second down and 20 now. 6:18 to go. Jim Tart, a repeater at left guard from my favorite hometown, choppy Florida. Here's Tebow, pressured, flips it out. Keyston Moore has it one-on-one in the corner. Marsalis Johnson missed the tackle, but he slowed him up enough to get help there. Well, in the aftermath of the national championship game, good friends Phil Troutwine and Jim Tart decided to tattoo their bodies. And so you see that's Troutwine on the left and Tart on the right. And I don't know. I'm not qualified to judge the aesthetic value of the tattoos.
If you win a national championship, you can do anything you want. That's my rule.
Okay. I think the family was a little surprised.
Yeah, another offensive lineman for Florida. Looks like it's Pouncey down, right guard, who's in the game because Troutwine's not in the game. So another shuffle.
Marcus Pouncey, one of twins, two freshmen on this team. Marquise Pouncey.
Brother Michael, who's the backup center. Both of them, by the way, enrolled early in January here. One of 2 of 9 freshmen that came early and took place in spring practice here for Florida.
And Troutwine is one of those who might be out for the full season. So Pouncey got the start in game 1.
You know, I mentioned, Vern, you were on the computer. We put you on there. We play.
Yeah.
Here it is. That belly laugh of yours, that's going to cut off years off your career. You got to just control. You got to control a little more. Too much laughing. That's what we found out.
You think so?
But we're just going to tone it down this year a whole lot.
All right.
Because we need to make you last, you know.
I'll become much more serious.
Sedate. We need you more sedate. Pouncey
being assisted into the locker room, goes up the tunnel. 3rd and 14. Maurice Hurt, a redshirt freshman, has taken his spot. And now Steve Shaw blows the whistle before the play can be snapped. Now the play clock switch has become inoperative.
Boy, this technology. Where's the Geek Squad?
It's not operational. We'll keep the time on the field.
It's the play clock. Is that a bother?
Yes, it is for a quarterback, because you out of the corner of your eye, you can always see, you know, where you are, just have a feel for the game. I always First thing I did when I came out on the field before a game was make sure I knew where all the clocks were.
3rd and 14. Tebow with time. Nope. Pocket collapses. He scrambles, pulls up, and runs it out of bounds. So it will be 4th down. They had the first down on the 13-yard run by Keyston Moore. Gerard Mayo gets in the neighborhood and forces Tebow out. 4th down. Well,
yeah, I'll tell you, John Chavis said, we want to put hits on this guy. And Urban Meyer said, we want this guy to last all year. So something's got to give. And right now, Tebow, I think, is being very smart. He takes them on when he has to. And he realized you can't run through 4 of them. No way he can pick up 13 yards or whatever that was. So he just, discretion, better part there, and just stepped out of bounds.
On 4th down, Chaz Henry, second punt of the ball game. Last was 37 yards, no return. And this one, here's just one of those little tidbits. The Florida Gators have not had a punt returned on them in 2 games and almost a quarter now. So this freshman, his net punt average is pretty good. This week on Big Brother, one house guest will win $500,000. Find out who when Julie Chen hosts the final 2 episodes of Big Brother, Sunday and Tuesday only on CBS, America's most watched network. In a tailback for the Volunteers, LaMarcus Coker, number 22. That's Chris Brown, the tight end, now at the fullback position. Ainge draw play, Coker comes right. And he cuts inside the 45. And for more on Pouncey, let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, guys. You saw him being helped into the locker room. He was taken directly there. They will x-ray his right ankle. When I get more information, I will bring it to him.
Thank you, Trace. Marquise Pouncey, true freshman out of Lakeland, Florida. They won the 5A state championship again last year, were voted by some as the top high school team in the country.
Yeah, I guess 6 of their players came to Florida.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good team.
2nd and 5. Toss. Coker goes left. Good job on the corner of holding him up. That was Tony Joyner, who forced the play farther left and allowed Derek Harvey to get there.
Well, Tony Joyner knows he doesn't have the eraser around to help him this year, so he's not going to let it get to the eraser. He just makes the play himself. Great guy. We talked to him yesterday. By the way, rooming. How about that? Oddball roommate of the year, maybe. His roommate is Tim Tebow.
Tony Joyner is a senior. Tebow a sophomore. And he was told by Urban Meyer in the spring, you and Tim are going to room together next fall. He said, what?
Yeah, right.
3rd down and 12. Ainge goes left, complete. Avoided the tackle. And a 1st down for Tennessee at the 36-yard line. Catch made by Lucas Taylor. Now, we had a chance to chat with both Tebow and Tony Joyner yesterday. And Tony Joyner said it's worked out just great. But here's a player down. It's Marquis Anderson, who is back in action today for the first time since the first game. Now there's Tony Joyner as they take care of Marquis Anderson on the far side. More technical glitches here at Florida Field and Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. We're now told that the game clock is no longer working.
Well, at least the one you watch on TV is, and I don't know, the one in the stadium, is it still alive?
Well, it shows 3:39
right
in the corner. And that's the play clock, of course. That was inoperative last we heard. There's the game clock.
This was with Anderson again. It was actually, I think, friendly fire. Dustin Doe, number 32, is the guy I think that lands on Anderson. Left side of the screen. In comes Anderson. Doe, number 32, hits him and then falls on the back of his ankle at the end of the play, I believe. Let's watch it again. Jumping on. Yeah, I think it is Doe who actually falls on the back of the ankle.
Well, they continue to tend to Marquis Anderson. We'll be right back. All right, Tim, thank you. Ooh. the rumblings.
Yeah, that one doesn't surprise me.
For either team. No,
I
it
think
doesn't.
Michigan's going to win that game.
Yep.
This is the game I'm worried about right here. I have no idea what's going to happen. It's the one I did all the studying on.
Ainge on 1st and 10. He just converted a 2nd down and 12. Josh McNeil snaps it back. Little flip left side screen pass. It's Briscoe. And he's down the sidelines, and another 1st down. Boy, this, you think about this, it's been all Tennessee in this first quarter.
Absolutely. Now, I think they had a drop pass for a 1st down. They had an INT and a stop short for a 1st down. Again, Eric Ainge thinks that this is a good wide receiver screen. He knew it was zone. He feels confident that before the snap, he should know the coverage. He said all the time. So let's say 8 out of 10 times, okay? And he's not doing it the Bill Belichick way. He's doing it with film study.
We'll continue to update as the game clock is not operative. It's 3:21 to go first quarter. Here's a flip to Foster right side. And that's going to be inside the 15 to the 13. Josh Briscoe, that's an 8-yard pickup, not Foster.
Vern, you know what's impressive about Tennessee is, they're nip and tucking out there. That's how they're going to run their offense. It's nip and tuck, a little plastic surgery early is better than waiting, right?
He's going to get there.
But that's how he's going to run the offense. But the wide receivers are on their game blocking. They are hustling. They know they're not superstars, but they're out there doing the work, the dirty work.
And as you said, nip and tuck, we took a shot at Philip Fulmer. I can hear some of his critics. No, not me. Handoff. I am the last one to talk about anybody's weight.
I'll tell you, though, without being able to run the ball inside, nip and tuck surgery is like doing it without anesthetic.
Philip Fulmer's
You
16th season.
You got to be able to run the ball.
And they haven't so far.
Or it's going to get painful.
In the 90s, including a national championship, of course, and in the 20s, 69%. Mike Hamilton, the AD at Tennessee, gave both coordinators under Philip Fulmer 3-year contracts and 2-year contracts for every assistant this year. Here's Ainge out of the gun. 3rd and short. Florida with 3 down. They'll bring at least 4, maybe 5 or 6. Well, they only brought 3. Into the corner, end zone, and it took off again.
That's this problem.
Yep.
I've heard that this taping up your finger is no big deal. Now, I played quarterback. It's a big deal. A grip on a football, you need your whole hand. You don't put your palm on it, but those fingers give you the strength. When you have them taped together, and there he is throwing off balance again, going to his left, that ball just sailed on him, and it isn't there. Completing a lot of passes, but Eric told me I feel best when I throw in rhythm. When I get out of rhythm, the ball goes everywhere.
Homecoming for the kicker, a freshman from Ocala, 30 miles away. Daniel Lincoln didn't get an offer from Florida, wound up at Tennessee. He's 4 for 4 for the year. Make it 5 for 5. Grew up as a Gator fan.
Yeah.
Was watching on television 2 years ago when James Wilhoit kicked a 50-yarder to give the Volunteers a 1-point win. We're back in Gainesville. Marquis Anderson heading to the locker room. Let's get more from Tracy. Tracy?
That's right, Vern. It looks like the cornerback re-injured that right knee that he suffered a sprained MCL before the season began that kept him out of the first 2 games, most of that second game. He's headed to the locker room now. Any more word on that, I'll get back to you. All
righty. Well, this has been domination by the Volunteers here in the first quarter, but they still trail by 7. The difference, 83-yard punt return by Brandon James.
That means both teams now. Tennessee lost quarterback Antonio Gaines last week, and now Florida's down a corner, and both secondaries are very young to begin with. Both teams should be able to take advantage of secondaries that don't have a lot of experience.
Chad Cunningham will kick off, number 95. There's Keyston Moore, 33, and the ever-dangerous Brandon James. They will attempt to get the ball in his hands. Here's the kick from the 30, and James has it at the 4. He's going to outrace his coverage if he's not careful. He almost does. Didn't give Keyston Moore a real clear chance to make the block, and Willingham, D'Angelo Willingham, number 24, comes down to make the tackle. Don't just watch the game. Get online and be part of the action with free college fantasy football at CBSSports.com. Find out more and draft your favorite teams today at collegefootball.cbssports.com. Well, we played all but 96 seconds of the first quarter, and the Gators do not have a first down.
And they've only run 6 plays.
Percy Harvin alone to the left. There are 3 wide receivers. Now one comes in motion. That's Cornelius Ingram. 4-man rush. Here's the reverse. Harvin. Nice job of staying home out of the corner, but Harvin breaks a tackle and picks up the first Florida first down.
Well, just going to have to believe me, but Vern and I were talking during the break, and we both were saying we're going to see some option. We're going to see some option, and that's exactly what's happened here. When you have trouble running the ball inside, you don't quite yet, now you might feel good about throwing the football by the 50, but get the ball to the guys who can make people miss tackles. That's a pretty good player, Jonathan Hefty, that missed the tackle right there, but that's what Percy Harvin does.
First down, Harvin goes in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Tebow goes deep. He's got a man. It's Ingram. Cornelius Ingram at the 30-yard line.
He's a monster. He's just a monster. Came in as a high school quarterback. Thought he was going to be Vince Young. Kind of turned into Dallas Clark here. I think it's coming out that way right there. Watch this. Big wingspan. Tebow throws it right over the defender. That's good coverage. But when you got that 6'5" frame and leaping ability of Ingram, throw it up in the air and Ingram catches everything. Just everything.
Ingram, of course, also a basketball player in his freshman year. Here's Tebow. Fakes the run forward. Goes for Riley Cooper. End zone. Touchdown. Nice arc on the ball. Riley Cooper, who caught 3 in the opener against Western Kentucky. He's now got 10 catches in his career. 6 have been touchdowns.
Well, you really would have hoped Eric Berry, the phenom freshman, would have made a play on that ball. He was in decent position, one-on-one coverage, and he didn't do it. I love deep balls in college football. You must throw the ball deep. You're guaranteed one-on-one, and your guy is way better than the defensive player.
Riley Cooper, I misspoke. That's his 3rd of the year. He had 2 against Western Kentucky.
This guy is just a touchdown machine, Riley Cooper. He had, coming into the game, 8 receptions for 5 touchdowns. That's now 6 for 9. Throw him the football, and he's taking Bubba Caldwell's spot. He's a backup. Tebow, play action pass, throw the ball up. Barry thinks he has it, misjudges it a bit, and 6'4", big guy Riley Cooper comes down with it. Eric Age must come back and answer. He must not punt again.
Riley Cooper on the left. Tebow was to the right.
Yeah, he's snuck in right in here, right in there.
Okay.
There's Tebow.
And it's time now for the playbook by the Hartford.
One of the innovations of the shotgun formation is play action pass with the quarterback. You really don't have to fake it. Just step in, and that draws the safety up. Watch this. Tebow steps in. Whoop, up comes the safety. They're beat. Throw the ball deep. That's why you run the quarterback. If you go shotgun and you don't run the quarterback inside, you don't have the play action pass. And that's really the strength of this formation is play action pass, faking it to yourself at quarterback.
And so Riley Cooper, who was a star on special teams last year and a backup wide receiver, he had that big hit on the goal line.
Yes, he did. He had to beg his way in against LSU. What was that against? Who was that? No, it was LSU.
Yeah, it was LSU. You'll notice that I was hesitating.
I know. Trying to figure out who it was myself.
Looking desperately to you for help.
Well, I've only been here 1 year. I got an excuse.
Here's the kick. And LaMarcus Coker. Oh, boy. Brandon Hicks, number 40, first man down. 33 seconds to go before the first quarter.
Tennessee has struggled so with that kickoff coverage stuff.
For Alex Vega, the only thing more important than the family business is the family. Emmy winner Jimmy Smith stars in Kane, premiering Tuesday, September 25th on CBS, America's most watched network.
It's the most pressure-packed drive of the season, I think, and surely the game for Ainge. He has to come through.
Lucas Taylor out in the right flat. It's out of bounds to stop the clock with 27 seconds remaining. Well, you said, Gary, that in your conversations with Eric Ainge, the difficulty was going to come when he under pressure and had to roll right or left.
He's got a couple problems. Throwing the ball deep does not come easy. You could see that in the Cal game. He was comfortable throwing the ball short. And throwing it deep, you just have to torque it so much. And when he gets on the run or he throws a little off balance, like a Brett Favre type throw where you snap it, he can't quite get that grip on it yet.
2nd and 4. Lucas Taylor, bring it back.
See, there's that nip and tuck offense. You hope if you're a Tennessee fan that you can do that all the way down the field. If you're Florida, you just don't believe it. If you're Greg Madison.
Before the snap, 75 false start, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Anthony Parker, the left guard, with the movement.
I'm telling you, Greg Madison, defensive coordinator, Charlie Strong, defensive coordinator for Florida, they're not going to be real fearful of those nip and tuck passes.
2nd down 9. 14-3. Punt return Brandon James. Touchdown toss Tebow to Riley Cooper. And Marcus Coker comes right out across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Just a wonderful job by Florida of what they call spilling the play outside. The defensive end crashes down, gives up his body, and then spills it outside for the linebacker to make the play. Look at Charlie Strong. He loves it right here. Watch it spill, and right there the linebacker make the play. Beautiful job. Jermaine Cunningham, number 45, spill it outside, and Dustin Dill makes the play. That's good defense.
Again, a reminder that the play clock is not operating here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, nor is the game clock, but we're operating so far. That is the end of the first quarter. 14-3 Florida will return to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium after this message and this word from your local station. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium filled its capacity of 90,000. Urban Meyer wanted the fans locally to wear blue. I think you can tell from up on top that most of them have done so. 14-3 as we start the second quarter. And the Volunteers, despite dominating, were able to put up only 3 points in the first quarter. They trail 14-3. Ainge on 3rd and 7. Ainge back, fires it, caught. Good for the first down. And we welcome you back to Gainesville for the second quarter. Gary Danielson, Vern Lundquist, Tracy's alongside down below. Big plays by Florida. Yeah. I like your definition of a nip and tuck offense.
Well, it does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's going to be a real challenge because Florida's going to say, yeah, okay, I can see what you're doing here. You're going to try to march the ball down the field, control the ball, move the chains. Florida's going to say, we'll give you a little bit, but not a lot. To do this, Tennessee's going to have to rush the ball better. 9 rushes, 7 yards so far in the game.
Here's Ainge with time. He's got a man. That's Austin Rogers down the sidelines. That is the big play they were looking for. A little crossing route underneath, and Austin Rogers picks up 32 yards.
This was just great decision-making and patience, let alone protection from the offensive line for Tennessee. Ainge wanted to go deep. He was going to look deep down the field. Look at this protection up front. You didn't do that to Florida last year. No, can't do it. Got help downfield. Throw the crossing route underneath. Rogers gets it.
LaMarcus Coker remains in as the tailback. He'll get the handoff. Test left guard and gets down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Opening moments of the second quarter, Tony Joyner, number 19. And Eric Ainge gave that one up with his left hand.
Yeah, watch this. He turns around to protect it, and he hands it off backhand. Saw that in practice the other day and says that is a guy who's smart and thinking about protecting that finger.
Well, he told us on the phone the other day the 2 biggest problems have been taking snaps and handing off. Here's the toss. This is Arian Foster who's back in the lineup. And Eric Ainge playing with that broken pinky and a shoulder problem today. He's been hampered, he's been hampered by injuries. A shoulder his first season, had the dismal year, but he couldn't blame any injuries in 2005.
Yeah.
Came back so strong last year, but missed a game with an ankle.
And according to everybody, he was firing the ball ready to start the season till he hurt this finger. I think too little has been made of that finger.
Third down. Ainge, flag is down on the far side. The catch is made. A.J. Jones, number 16, defending.
Yeah, usually when that happens, I think lined up in the neutral zone for Florida, especially when you're blitzing off the side like that. Those safeties. What we got here? I don't want to be wrong already. Yeah,
ooh. It's our first telecast.
It sure is. There's not enough men on the line of scrimmage. An illegal formation. That's what it's going to be. Boy, that's just so hard to win on the road when you're beating yourself like
Illegal
this.
formation. 6 men on the line on the offense. Number 78 was back. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Foster, the right tackle, was caught for the infraction, so third and long again.
Cheated too far back in the backfield, and they called it on him.
3rd and 10. Whistle, timeout, Tennessee. That is their first. And it comes with 12 minutes, 57 seconds remaining first half. Florida leads it 14-3. Only the 37th time these two teams have met. They had a long hiatus until the league was expanded in 1992. Florida has won 8 of 13 here. And now Tennessee on the road, hostile crowd, third down and 10. Ainge, left side, man open, Briscoe. But that's far short of the first down, so your decision now.
Well, this is where the new rules also have an impact in your decision making if you're Philip Fulmer. Even if you kick the field goal, you know, you got to kick off from your own 30 back to Florida. They're going to bring it out 35, 40-yard line. I think you're going to go for more of these plays this year because of that new kickoff rule right here.
Well, you got into his head here. He's going to go for it on 4th and 4. It would have been a 47-yard field goal attempt with a freshman kicker. Ainge. Is it good? It's good. How about that?
Wow, what a throw.
Lucas Taylor makes the grab on 4th down and 4.
He had what you call a stretch to the outside. The short man running an option, the outside guy running a little smash route. Turns it, rhythm. What we do? He's in rhythm. Is he something? He puts the ball right low and outside to Lucas Taylor, and that blue-collar receiver that Tennessee has right now makes the play. Good fourth down gamble. Good fourth down gamble.
First down and 10, and the freshman Lennon Creer is in out of Tatum, Texas. Number 3. They flip it right side. One-man block out on the corner, and LaMarcus Coker goes right. They had him lined up wide right. And it's going to be a first down and goal, Tennessee. We go back to Tim Brendo for this update.
Vern and Gary, Michigan has almost as many points as Notre Dame has total yards in this game. Freshman Ryan Mallett to Greg Matthews. Where's Notre Dame's defense? Not found. 24-0 in the second, Vern.
We want to welcome those of you who have been watching Notre Dame, Michigan.
That's right.
First and goal, Tennessee. Handoff is to Foster, and Foster to the 7-yard line. Arian Foster had a great year 2 years ago when he rushed in excess of 100 yards in his 5 starts. And delightful young man to speak with. He was talking earlier this week about his admiration for Eric Ainge and his equanimity in the huddle.
Whatever that means, he does it well.
Composure. Ainge showing equanimity, finds Foster, and it'll be at the goal line.
Yeah, well, you know, it all started in the Cal game. The red zone struggles. It's come up and popped up again today. Remember in this football game, 1st and goal, try to take it over the top. Little play action pass, nothing. Option play when they shift the wide receiver Lucas Taylor into the backfield. Then on 4th down, an incomplete pass. And today, it's popped up again. They've got another chance right here.
Today, 0 for 2, 1 field goal. Oh, no touchdowns. 3rd and goal. Ainge with time. Flips it low, and it's incomplete at the goal line.
Bad throw. Really bad throw by Ainge. He tried to hand it to him. Instead of gunning it to him that time, just tried to hand it to him and kind of feathered out there. He could have had that even, you know, maybe down to the half-yard line. Back out of the backfield, could have had it. Could have been either 6 or, you know, 4th and real short. Now you're forced to take the field goal.
Now Daniel Lincoln perfect for the year. The freshman from Forest High in Ocala. 5 for 5. This one almost the equivalent in distance of an extra point. The field goal from Lincoln. Hold is down and the kick is up and good. He's a perfect 6 for 6 in his quest to replace James Wilhoit, 2nd leading scorer in the history of Tennessee. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after this word from your local station. Eric Ainge, the senior quarterback for the Volunteers. 77 yards, 625 in 13 plays, but another 3 instead of 7.
Yeah, he needed that drive. He needed to do something. That drive started at his own 18-yard line. I thought it's a success for Tennessee to get down there. Struggled again down there in that red zone, but at least they just didn't 3-and-out punt. This thing could have got, you know, swampy. Can you say that? It could have got swampy out here, you know?
Yep.
So they got a drive on it. Now, Florida's offense has been nothing. I mean, you know, a bomb and a punt return. 9 plays the whole game.
And, of course, the expectation's so high because the inexperience for Florida's at defense. They've got a pretty good kick return game. And this is Brandon James again. Nevin McKenzie makes the tackle number 20. Well, Urban Meyer in his 3rd season here. Bowling Green for 2, Utah for 2. When he came here to replace Ron Zook, he established 3 goals, reclaim the swamp. Well,
yep,
beat the big 3.
Did it.
Win bowl games.
Yeah, he kind of did that, didn't he?
He got a pretty good salary bump, too.
Number 4, make $3.5 million. That's not bad. See, here again, Vern, just as a point, you get 3 points. You give Florida the ball on the 42-yard line. That's the difference in this 30-yard kickoff now.
Here's Tebow. He's 3 for 3. Harvin goes left with a handoff. And gets across the 50 to the 49, and that gives us a moment to head back to New York once again. Here's Tim Brenda.
Vernon, Gary, you're going to love this. After the 5th field goal for Iowa State gave him a 2-point lead with 1 second left. This is Daryl Johnson-Koulianos of Iowa. Where is the band? Somebody's looking for the Stanford band. And finally, Iowa State's going to haul down Daryl Johnson-Koulianos, and they claim the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Let's get back to Vernon Gary.
All right, Tim. Thank you. 2nd down and 1. Here's Tebow. Steps up, and that ball is tipped and intercepted or incomplete. Nope. It's incomplete. Rico McCoy, number 5, the weak side linebacker, coming and tipped the ball.
If there's one group on this Tennessee team that really stands out and has to come through, it's those Tennessee linebackers. McCoy, Mayo, Ryan Carl. Ryan Carl might not be on the field as much against these guys, but those guys have to make plays. They're the speed. They're the athletes up front.
3rd and 1 from the 49.
Will it be Tebow?
That's Cooper in motion. Sets up. It is Tebow. Oh, baby. Now let's see if he goes out of bounds. He does. That's one of the things they've worked with Tim on this year. You made the point early on. Yeah. They need him for the season. And he did go right out of bounds that time.
Well, you can make the argument that his short yardage plays against Tennessee won that football game a year ago and set the tone for this team. You can see it when they needed it. Big SEC game. They can't rest him. You can't rest him. You'd love to have him healthy, But Florida has to win this game if they're going to run the table or be in the hunt for the SEC championship again. It might be hard to run the table.
That's a gain of 18 and a first down at the 31-yard line. They go with the fullback now, Eric Rutledge, number 29. Tennessee coming. And Rutledge moved. Well, how about a year ago? The first huge run was 4th and 1, and he picked up 2 on the winning touchdown drive.
And it just went from there. He set the tone, the physical tone. You know, a lot of whispers about this Florida team has always been considered a little soft. You're not soft with that guy playing quarterback. The single wing quarterback kind of changed the strategy of college football. More and more teams are doing it. But now, can he bring out the rest of the game? That will remain to be seen. This is the SEC. I mean, you can't run quarterback sneaks all the way through to the championship.
First down on the Tebow run, and the 5-yard penalty makes it 1st and 15. Drew Miller is the center. Snaps it back. Harbin comes alongside Tebow in the backfield. They hand it to Harbin, pulling guard. He goes right, and not as much developed out of that as you might have thought at the snap, as Walter Fisher, number 95, gets there. Harbin bothered by tendinitis in 2 days, but Urban Meyer said he's about as healthy now as he's been since the summer began.
I'll tell you where I go. I go to number 7. This guy is a special player. He's right here in the slot. You can make him a pressure point. Tennessee cannot match up well against him. Throw that guy the ball.
There's the change. Now Ingram moves up on the line. So 4 wides. Here's Tebow, quarterback draw at the 26-yard line. Well, it is time now for one of the highlights of our day. The Aflac trivia question. Who were the only 2 coaches to defeat Philip Fulmer in 3 straight seasons? There have been 2. Urban Meyer is attempting to join that and make it the 3 tenors. 3rd down and 6. Keaston Moore has split out, so they're 5 wide now.
Yeah, this is Keaston, a running back out there.
Empty backfield, 3-man rush for the Volunteers. Here's Tebow being chased from the backside by Bolden. Gets up and drills it, and the catch is made at the 20-yard line.
Wow.
By Keaston Moore. That appears to be enough for the first down.
I would assume that that's a matchup against a corner from Tennessee, too. They were playing zone. Now, put this one on the computer. And you see, that sometimes when you put those computer throws, that doesn't mean anything, because you still sometimes just got to be able to throw the ball out there and rip it. It was Marcellus Johnson, a corner, and you got a running back making a play against a corner.
And so the Gators convert. Keaston Moore stays on the field. Rutledge is also there, the fullback to the left side. 3 wides, 2 to the right. Tebow goes left, turns the corner. They went right down around the knees to take him down. Jonathan Hefney was there to make the tackle. But look, here he goes.
They're ready for it.
You can't change your basic nature.
No, you can't. Will he survive all year? He has to. I mean, that's their offense.
Now you ask Urban Meyer about his backup quarterback just in case. He rolls his eyes.
Right, a little young there.
2nd down. The backup is Cameron Newton, a true freshman. 2nd and 1. And off. You're right. Keaston Moore. That's another first down. Well, let's talk about some gaudy numbers early in the season. How about Florida in the red zone?
You know, and after watching Troy last night, everybody thought that was just a scrimmage. Troy, not a bad little football team. One of the 2 teams that Florida did it against. They're a powerhouse down here. They keep splitting you out. You've got, you've got 3 people in the backfield right here that can run the ball. And they've got guys spread all over the field. Very difficult to stop this formation with a running quarterback.
David Nelson's on the field for the first time. And here's the running quarterback. Touchdown, Florida. Seven-yard touchdown run. And the Gators extend the lead to 14 with the extra point to come. Joey Eos for the extra point. Butch Rowley will hold, last year's third-string quarterback. Tim Tebow.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, isn't he? You really don't need a lot of words. It's pretty self-evident right there, isn't it? The guy is a plus 400-pound bench presser.
But he can't sing.
Maybe.
.538 to go. 24th ranked Tennessee trailing 3rd ranked Florida by 15. 9 plays, 58 yards. Tebow with a 7-yard touchdown run. And now that kickoff from the 30-yard line. Urban Meyer said he hated the rule. I think that's the way he phrased it. You said, what do you think? He said, I hate it.
You know, he didn't like the clock rule last year,
Nope.
you know, so maybe he'll get this one dumped also.
Here's the kick from Joey Eos. It's taken by Coker. Oh, right through his hands. Out of the end zone, touchback. It'll come out to the 20. Well, we mentioned that Tim Tebow and Tony Joyner are roommates now. The African-American senior and Tim Tebow, the white sophomore, they have become very fast friends.
Sure has. One guy is kind of the face of Florida, does everything right. The other guy got thrown off the team once.
Yes.
They kind of are learning from each other, aren't they?
Tony Joyner, Gary said, give us some personality quirks for Tebow. He's got to have a couple. He said, man, you can't believe the amount of cereal that he eats.
Milk and cereal.
The milk, I believe. Foster. And for more on the roommates, let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Well, you guys, that friendship actually carries over onto the field as well. Tony Joyner earlier in the game went up to Tebow and said, that's the way we do it, Roomie. Come on, Roomie. That's how we do it. So it all carries over to here as well.
Thanks, Trace. 2nd down. Ainge reverse. No siree. Jermaine Cunningham, the defensive end.
Wow.
Loss of 9.
Now, these are just new players. Cunningham played a little last year, you know, but Jarvis Moss plays top of the screen right here. You got to do the right thing if you're a defensive end. That means be ready for the guy coming the other way, and that's exactly what he did. You're fast, you're hungry, and you listen to the coach. Boy, what a great combination that is.
That was Brent Vinson, number 13, the true freshman. Cunningham with the tackle for loss. And it's 3rd and 15. Nobody open. So he finds a receiver, but that's far short of the 1st down. Catch made by Chris Brown. It'll be 4th down Tennessee.
You know what that's like, Vern? You play chess. You look at all your good guys. You can't think of a move, so you move your pawn up one. Tennessee just moved their pawn up one there. That didn't mean anything.
Yep. Colquitt is on to punt. Brandon James, who has an 83-yard punt return. That was the opener of the game in terms of scoring, and he's back at the 35.
Looks like the block's on this time, though, is it?
Nice and high. Gunner comes down from the right side. James looks for blocking help. Wandy Luis-Pierre. And the tackle made on Brandon James at the 40-yard line by Adam Myers-White, number 48. That's a 48-yard punt. 9 on the return and a flag down at the Tennessee 42-yard line.
Well, Tennessee came back against Cal when they were down 17. Did not give up the ship. But if they want to keep the ship afloat, as we listen to the penalty here.
After the play, personal foul, number 54 against Florida. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It'll be 1st and 10.
That's freshman Roderick Blackett, number 54. Well, Tim Tebow, how do you spend the night before the game? He says, I always end it with a glass of milk.
Close teams win. They're close.
All right, Tim, our score here in Gainesville, Florida 21, Tennessee 6. Late moments of the second quarter.
Well, let's look again here at the Tennessee defense. They got to have a stop. Florida gets the ball first coming out after halftime. 4 minutes to roughly go. It's a blowout if they score here again.
And look at the graphic. You saw the difficulties that Florida had. They had 9 plays in the first quarter, but they have dominated here in quarter number 2. Percy Harvin is behind Tebow. He gets the handoff, starts right, cuts left, and is tackled at the 31. Well, it's always fun to check in with Tim Tebow, and let's watch him on the last drive.
Well, he carried the ball 17 times last week, and he's carried the ball 9 times this week. But this play on third down, Tennessee had a stop, lays out flat, throws it, runs it down there to the 10-yard line, and then jogs it. Well, I don't want to say jog it in, but almost jogged it in. He ran right over the safety. It was just no chance of stopping that touchdown.
68 yards passing, 48 rushing. Here's Harvin alongside to the right. He fakes it to Harvin, pulls up, finds a man. That's Lewis Murphy. And Murphy is out to the 47 with a first down. You know, it's kind of pick your poison.
It is.
With these
I'm
wide
telling you,
receivers.
guys, see, this is an offense. It's a new age offense. Let's see if Tebow does it. Rotate your shoulders. Keep that right shoulder high. Going to his right now. Keep that right shoulder high. Does he dip it? Look at that. Keeps it up there high. That's a nice job. That's what he's trying to do. All that work is starting to pay off.
And Dan Mullen said they also worked on shortening his stride.
Yes.
He was almost like a baseball pitcher with the length of his stride when delivering the ball. Gerard Faison is in the backfield with Keyston Moore. Faison
gets it. Yep.
Yep, there he is. To the 25. Pick your poison.
This offense has about 6 offenses rolled into it. You got the dive play, the option play, the speed sweep, quarterback draw, the play action pass bomb, the sprint out, the naked boot. But you know what? John Chavis, the defensive coordinator, said, if we don't stop the dive play, we're going to get routed. Well, they started out stopping the dive play, but now that whole package just kind of opened up the midpoint.
And Gary, there's a graphic example of the diversity of the offense. Wide receivers, the running backs with 5 yards so far. First down and 10. Here's one of those running backs, Keyston Moore, to the 20-yard line. All righty, time for the answer to the, thank you, trivia question. Who are the only 2 coaches to defeat Philip Fulmer 3 straight? One you can guess. Oh, gosh. There's Steve Spurrier.
Mark Richt. How about
and
that?
Mark Richt. And Urban Meyer trying to join that group.
Are there Zook asterisks on those things? Or not? Is that such a thing? You know,
I like the word. Yeah. There's a website that's very popular called Every Day Should Be Saturday. Here's Tebow back.
Nobody covered him.
See ya. Ingram, touchdown.
Nobody covered him.
20 yards.
This guy's a freak, Cornelius Ingram. And another freak, number 15, just threw him the ball. Just an outright bust by the Tennessee defense. Just turned the tight end loose. They hid Ingram at tight end that time. Tebow knew he had him all the way down the field. This is just, you know what, Vernon, in 5 years, 95% of the schools in college will be running this offense.
Really, you think so?
Absolutely. It's too hard to defend.
You see more and more high schools running it?
There's about 1,000 high schools running it right now. Just too many things that can hit you and pound you, and they're producing more guys like Tim Tebow coming out of high school that can run it and throw it. Well, I'll show you where Ingram lined up. He was right here at tight end right there. Safety's in the middle, corners going out with the motion. Watch this. Bang, nobody covers him, touchdown. It's already a touchdown. He's off the line of scrimmage 3 yards, and Tebow knew he had a touchdown. The guy's like 6'9", 95 wingspan. If you throw it anywhere in the swamp, he catches it.
Well, this has been a complete turnaround in quarter number 2. It's worth a fist pump if you're a Gator. Middle of the picture, Dan Mullen, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach.
You know what he's thinking right now? Should we go for hamburgers or pizza after the game? Should we have chicken? Maybe I should cook out some chicken.
Dan's wife, Megan, an anchor at the Golf Channel down in Orlando. And the other side of this coin is John Chavis, who had such high hopes after the first quarter. I mean, they were 7-3 down. And, suffered the fall aparts here.
Just not quite enough matchup speed and size for Tennessee for this offense. Ainge almost had to play a perfect game.
That's LaMarcus Coker, number 22, who's got some room. And the tackle made at the 35-yard line. Major Wright, number 21. Well, not that far away from the Geico halftime report. Tim and Spencer and Archie Manning has joined them again today. Back in New York on a day with a lot of significant games around the country. This is one of them. 28-6, Florida. Arian Foster, the running back. Ainge will go out of the spread. Foster gets the fake, the handoff. Yep, Josh Briscoe to the 45-yard line of Florida. The tackle made by Major Wright, number 21.
He really is good, isn't he, Eric Ainge? I mean, the guy is a professional quarterback. He will play in the NFL, obviously. He's throwing, I'm telling you guys, he's throwing like 75% out there with that finger.
First down and 10, a 19-yard gain. There's Ainge, right side. Lucas Taylor with the tackle.
Tennessee is so well schooled. David Cutcliffe, their offensive coordinator, you know, he's got such a history with the Peytons, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, and boy, he's tough on these guys. He demands intensity. Phil Fulmer brought his old buddy back a year ago, and you can see they pick up the blitz. They do the sight adjustments. They just don't have that home run threat, it seems to me.
Second down. David Cutcliffe, who was the offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning at Tennessee, the head coach for Eli Manning at Ole Miss. Ainge gets rid of it. Yes, indeed, Chris Brown, the tight end. Well, 15 of the last 17 games between these two, the team that rushed the ball for more yards was the victor. Look at that disparity.
Yep.
And last year, this Tennessee team, 17 rushes for minus 11 yards. Now, in college football, you know that when a quarterback is sacked, those yards count as negative rushing yards.
Right.
I've never understood that.
No, but at 40 or 50 yards in sacks, they still weren't very good in that game.
That's right. First down and 10. 58 seconds to go before the break. Gators are bringing the blitz. Ainge is hit as he lets it go incomplete. Major Wright was out covering, but the blitz coming from the defensive left side. There's Major Wright.
Lucas Taylor that time, number 12, the wide receiver, misread it. Guy comes right off his face as a blitz. He must pull up and run the hook or the out to the outside, and Lucas Taylor didn't see it. Hard to believe. Guy runs right by you and you don't see him.
Second and 10. 54 seconds to go. Boy, how desperately does Tennessee need a touchdown here? Blitz again, opposite side. It's Joyner who's coming, and it bounces off the intended receiver. Dorian Monroe, number 20, was back there. Josh Briscoe had hopes of getting the ball.
Yeah, I thought he got bumped before the ball got there that time, to tell you the truth. It was a great play, or I'm a little too far away from it. Let's see if he gets bumped, Briscoe does, before the ball gets there. Yeah, he got hit. Look at that. Ball way behind maybe. No, he got jostled all the way right there. I'm surprised that one wasn't called. That was pretty obvious.
Third and 10. Gators bring 3. Zone blitz. Man is open. It's Briscoe at the 15-yard line. That will be close.
They got to take a timeout, Tennessee does, don't they? They need a touchdown.
Yeah. And they do, Gary. Well, it's the water. I sort of say water boys. That's a term from the 50s, or you're an Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's because you're still making money.
No, that was
Happy Gilmore.
That
All
was,
right. You didn't get from everything else?
No.
They dumped you after one?
I couldn't believe it. I called Sandler and I said, wait a minute, I did a bad job?
Exactly.
You go for Brent Musburger when I was in Happy Gilmore? What's with that? That worked. Volunteers, 1 timeout left. First down and 10 at the 15. Left side. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That almost went 83 the opposite direction.
Yeah, big Derek Harvey, the ex-basketball player, the MVP of the championship game?
Yep.
Defensive MVP of the championship game. Had 3 sacks in that football game. Fumble recovery. Really emerged last year. Left side of your screen goes up. It's like 6'5", 6'6", and he grabbed it.
High school basketball player, as a matter of fact. He and Cornelius Ingram are roommates. The former basketball player at Florida. Here's Ainge back. Right corner, and the defender slipped. The catch is not made, however. Wandy Pierre-Louis slipped as the cut was made, and it will be another long one.
Ball was slightly outside, but it had to be there. You can't take a chance down at this end of the ball outside. Receiver came out of the route slow. I think Rodgers made his mistake when he came out of the route just a bit slow and then never catches up back to it.
3rd and 10.
Let's see if David Cutcliffe sees what I saw. It looked like the middle of the field was open, a little angle out and back in.
So we look at the slot receiver.
There it is.
There it is. Whoa, touchdown. Chris Brown, the tight end.
Angle out from the tight end and back in. He was open last play. And, you know, that's what you do for a living when you're calling plays. That's what you get. What do assistant coaches make $400,000 a year now, don't they, or something like that?
A little less than you made as a quarterback for
well,
15
yeah,
years.
That's true. But, you know, it was there last time. But last time Chris Brown went out, and it was set up the next play, and David Cutcliffe earned his money on that one.
David Lincoln on for the extra point to cut this to 15 in the final 25 seconds of the first half. Up and good.
Yeah, what they call it is an angle out right into the middle. Playing outside technique by Florida. There the play before. Watch, Chris Brown is right here, comes out, and then dings right in there to the middle. Watch him overplay it, sells it to the outside, overruns by the linebacker, and there it is. It was there the play before, and David Cutcliffe did a nice job of finding that and getting it to his team and getting them back in this football game. And Ainge put it right there nice and soft. Chris Brown had 2 touchdown passes caught against Cal, and when you can throw the ball and you got a senior quarterback, Eric Ainge can keep in his football game, but can't. The defense slow him down.
On your left, Chris Brown. On your right, sitting down now, helmet off, Eric Ainge, and up in the press box, there's David Cutcliffe back at Tennessee as the offensive coordinator.
I think there's an impression that Tennessee kind of rolls the footballs out there and lets them play. Well, you've never watched Tennessee practice if you think that's the case. It is unbelievably intense. The detail is as good as anyone in the country, and that man right there, David Cutcliffe, demands it being done right.
There's a squib kick, and it's grabbed by Cade Holliday, number 22. And so Florida will take over at the 27-yard line. Eternal Life has its dark side. Don't miss the thrilling new series from the producer of The Matrix, Moonlight, premiering Friday, September 28th on CBS, America's most watched network.
Can we go back to that last touchdown pass for a second, Vernon? The answer for Florida there would have been to change up their defense. I'm surprised they went with the same defense on back-to-back calls. And remember, I told you, Eric Ainge believes he knows the coverage before the snap.
On first down, could be the final play of the first half. Well, let's take another look at that.
Yeah, this is what you do. This is what you do if you're a quarterback. You look. You say, yes, they're in the same defense, man to man. I've got the play, I sell it, and I dump it. Good coaching, good decision. Florida 1 step behind. At
Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville. We have reached the halftime break, 28-13. The Florida Gators up 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. And let's check in with Tracy, who's with Philip Fulmer. Tracy?
Thanks a lot, guys. Coach, a much-needed score. What was the difference on that final drive?
We just executed. We got the ball down, throw it and catch it, and executed. Protected, didn't stop ourselves. We got to play better defense. We're just giving up too many huge chunks of yards. I think we can move the football with some efficiency. Just got to play a little better.
How hard is Florida's offense to defend?
It is. It's hard. It's hard because they put you in so many tough positions, and Tebow's such a good player. But, you know, when we play our assignments, we do just fine. You know, with letting a dang-gone tight end run down the middle of the field, that's not free. That's not good.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, Tracy, thank you. And that daggone tight end, Chris Brown. Oh, goodness. That's the end of the first half. It's 28-13. Let's go to Tim Brando in our New York studio. It is the Swamp in the SEC opener for both the Volunteers, the visitors from Knoxville, and the Gators from Florida. A full house in excess of 90,000 on hand as Florida dominated the second quarter and lead at 28-13. Urban Meyer 19-0 in the state of Florida, 15-0 here at home. Pretty gaudy record. Florida will open with Brandon James, number 25, back at the 10-yard line, going left, and he is out to the 35, from which point Tim Tebow and the offense come on the field. A moment ago, Tracy Wolfson had a chance to chat with Urban Meyer.
Coach, what was your main point of emphasis at the half?
Well, I think the first 5 minutes of the second half is going to be key to the game. We're facing one of the more talented teams in America, and you got to control the ball. We're getting the ball, put a good drive together. This first 5 minutes is going to be key.
Assess Tebow's performance in his first SEC start.
Tim Tebow, I think he's playing well, but we got a whole half of football. I'll assess it in about 30 minutes.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
And on the kickoff, there was an offside called against Tennessee, so the option with Florida.
Talked to Urban Meyer about this, and he said that he would force Tennessee to kick again, saying they're tired, they're gassed. So what happens? First one, he takes the penalty.
Maybe his club is tired and gassed. And here's, I don't think so.
No,
Tim
I think
Tebow on
you're
first
all
and
right.
10. Yeah, I think so too. Percy Harvin goes right. And a nice opening thrust, as Urban Meyer says, this first 5 minutes key for the ball club. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson back to start of the second half. Impressions first half.
Well, Tennessee and Eric Ainge have done a fine job with what they're doing. But what they're not doing is running the ball. 7 yards rushing in the first half. And by the way, no sacks. 7 legit yards rushing. It's going to be tough to win that. Florida did not have a lot of plays, 24 plays, but went for 219 yards in 24 plays. That big play offense, those game breakers is what Florida continues to throw at.
Jared Faison in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. Now let's take a look at the statistics for the first half. You've mentioned the most prominent one. That's on the left. Passing yards 204 to 104. Relatively error-free game.
Somewhat tells the story, and you know, there's a return for a touchdown in there, and Tebow has been as average. Well, now it's 3rd and 1. Don't want to get the guy hurt, but you don't, you know, he said, Urban Meyer, it's important, so he's going to run him, I'll bet.
Good call. Oh, nice defense. I don't know about that.
He went. It looks like he got across the line.
Antonio Reynolds, number 89, and Xavier Mitchell, 93, the first two there.
Boy, that says something about Tennessee. They got so sick and tired about hearing about Tebow and short yardage. This time they stayed stout, and if Tebow got it, he got it by, what, 6-7 inches.
Yeah.
I mean, they heard a lot about Tim Tebow this week.
And you're suggesting that they
Well, that, you know,
grew a little weary?
rightly so, but you know, you get tired. You're an SEC football player here and how tough the other team's quarterback is.
First down and 10. Blitz. Nope. Dead ball foul. Now, had a couple of injuries. Let's check in with Tracy. Trace?
That's right. 2 Florida injury updates from the first half. Marquise Pouncey, the offensive lineman, true freshman. He has a strained Achilles. He is out for the game. And Marquis Anderson, the cornerback, he is going for an MRI on his right knee. Back to you.
Okay, Trace. Thank you. 5-yard penalty against Tennessee.
Nice job by Tracy. Marquise and Marquis. You had to, you know, get the tongue just exactly as Marquise.
Well,
Marquis.
that's why she
Yeah, that's right.
marquee spots in our broadcast. On first down, the option going left. Tebow pitches at the last minute. Keyston Moore around the sidelines. Nice read by Tim Tebow. And the toss is perfect. A gain of 11.
Keyston Moore last year kind of had to be second fiddle to Deshaun Wynn. Reacclimated, rededicated himself. Tebow took the hit low. If you saw that right in the middle of your screen. That again, you know, over time, that's the question. Will these body punches on Tebow make it easier for someone down the line to beat Florida? Pound and pound and pound on Tebow.
You know, he's 6'3", 235 pounds, so he's got some heft. Here's Harvin. There's a nice play. Get the ball into the hands of number 1. Let him make the play.
Yeah, busted play this time. I think Lewis Murphy, excuse me, they were trying to get the ball to down the right side, and he slipped, comes out of it, and then just sees somebody and just makes an athletic play. So there you go. Take it, Percy. That's easy. It counts as a completion. That absolutely puts no tension on the shoulder when you do that.
I'm not surprised, but the kid can play slow pitch softball.
Yes.
You know, toss it up, let him swing. Cooper goes wide left, first down and 10. 3 wide receivers to the right side. Empty backfield. Keyston Moore is in the slot. He stays in the block. Tebow goes deep left side. Man coverage. Incomplete. Well, first SEC start. Urban Meyer wants to wait till the end of the game to assess it. Do you?
Well, he has plenty of accomplishments as a player. You know, we know what he can do. He's tough. He runs. He's a great leader. He's got a great deep arm. And this offense just fits him so well because he has so many different weapons and so many different ways to attack. You don't have to be that pretty drop back, read the secondary type quarterback like Eric Ainge is forced to do. You can just kind of bomb away with this guy.
Second down, 10. Here's the audible. Blitz coming. Actually, not a blitz. It was a 4-man rush. And here's the toss left side, Keyston Moore. Now, Gary, you spent Wednesday afternoon at practice in Knoxville watching Tennessee. Anything catch your attention particularly?
Well, they were ready for Tebow. I'll tell you, they were calling him Superman. And halfway through the practice, I got to tell you, it was really fun. All of a sudden, Phil Fulmer just starts the Superman music playing, and out comes a backup freshman quarterback dressed as Superman. There he is, BJ right there. BJ Coleman puts on a Superman outfit and does the whole scout team with a cape on the whole day. You think about you're tired if you're a Tennessee player hearing about Tebow?
Here's Tebow. Nice pass to the 20.
Guess who that is?
Cornelius Ingram. He's the daggone tight end that Philip Fulmer was referencing at the end of the first half.
And where he aligns and the amount of different weapons you have on the field, I think Florida says, you know, this is so good and so easy. I just don't even want to call it all the time. You know, I mean, I don't know if I want to do this. I might try to hide him for the next game like you can hide a 6'5" player like that. They could throw it to him 12 times a game and they wouldn't stop him.
First down and 10. Here's Moore going to the left side, gets the handoff and comes right.
Good defense.
Well, watching Cornelius Ingram, we mentioned earlier that he came here as a high school quarterback, wanted to play quarterback here. And one reason he chose Florida is that they gave him the opportunity to play both basketball and football. And he played quite a bit his freshman year and then opted to make the change, almost left here.
Well, he submitted his paperwork, didn't he,
Yes,
if I remember?
yes, he did.
Vern, didn't you have him in a basketball game?
I did. They lost to Villanova the year before they won the national championship.
Now, if you
2005.
you can survive in a Florida program as a basketball player, you know how gifted you are.
And that basketball team was honored in pregame ceremonies here. And here's Tebow up the middle.
Again.
You think the bar isn't raised high here at the University of Florida. Back-to-back championships for Billy Donovan and the basketball team. Oh, look at Joakim Noah. And there's a pretty good bunch. And, you know, I was lucky enough, Gary, to do a lot of their games the last 2 years. And the thing that stands out to me even now is the teamwork and the unselfishness involved in that basketball team.
It was kind of neat how their team had a lot of different people that did a lot of different things. But they all weren't the same type of player.
Oh, penalty. On the left side, Jason Watkins got an early start. Well, Urban Meyer had Chris Leak as a senior. Chris Leak, the starter for all of last year. But I think everybody, Meyer included, was waiting for Tebow to come into the spread offense.
Yeah, this offense is still emerging. Now, you know, this offense, the spread offense, started out with a little trickle. It was an innovation. It was a gimmick. You know, it started Sean King down in Tulane, you know. Then it just started to roll. And I think when Vince Young and Troy Smith did it, I think everybody, all the high schools are running it. And now it's created guys like Tebow, Jake Blocker, and a Dixon kid from Oregon. You just see,
See ya! This could go all the way. Tebow's the only man who can stop it. Eric Berry, the true freshman, all the way for a touchdown. 95 yards.
Take the cape off, Tim Tebow, huh? So easy, so meticulous, everything is working, and all of a sudden the best athlete on Tennessee makes a play.
95 yards for Eric Berry, the true freshman from Fairburn, Georgia. And the only man back who had a chance to stop him was number 15, the quarterback who threw the pick. Oh, that one cuts just inside the right upright.
Well, I know I'm a quarterback, but I can tell you the receiver caused this interception. Riley Cooper, watch here. He comes down, he starts to go, and then he tries to go behind Eric Berry. Watch this. In, takes a step in, and then he gives up on the play and allows the corner to go. You can never do that. Watch this. Goes in and he stops. Even if it's incomplete, you must cross the corner's face or you can get a ball picked off. That was not the quarterback's fault.
95 yards. That's the fourth longest in Tennessee history. Riley Cooper, the wide receiver, playing in the spot normally occupied by the injured Andre Bubba Caldwell.
Yeah, Caldwell Sr. would have known no matter what offense you're running, you always cross to the face of the defender. And now Tim Tebow, maybe since he's come to Florida, for him personally, it's his first, time he's really going to feel it, I think. Maybe just a little bit. First time he's sensed even any adversity. It's all been uphill for him. Everything's gone good. Now, a little pothole. Remember Urban Meyer said he had to get through the first 5 minutes, Vern? They did, but, the next couple minutes after that, turnover happened.
Dave Lincoln will kick off for the first time this afternoon. He takes the spot of Chad Cunningham. And here's the kick, high and short. That almost looked like a pooch kick. I think it was. Yep. And here's James, who runs under it, grabs it, and gets it out to the 34-yard line. Nevin McKenzie makes the tackle.
Just goes to show you, Tennessee is looking and hunting, and the little nip and tuck offense they're running. Where do we find a big play? You find it somewhere. You found it on defense. They needed one very badly, and they found one. A bad route by a young receiver and a good athlete, Eric Berry, who can take it the distance.
First down and 10 with 8:41 to go. Harvin in the backfield again. They line him up all over the place. He's alongside Tim Tebow, and Drew Miller will snap it back on first down. Corner blitz is threatened. They're not coming. Defense slants right. Harvin comes right and motors out to the 44-yard line. Well, this is, it seems every year, a significant game in the SEC. And the winner in 10 of the last 15 meetings in this game has won the SEC East title. Philip Fulmer's team, one of the most exciting games I have ever seen.
Right.
Tracy referenced it at halftime. The 2001 game here, 34-32, Tennessee's last win, second down and short, last win here. Harvin.
Look at that play. Well, you got to have a downfield blocking penalty on the Florida wide receivers. I think they're going to get holding on Lewis Murphy, number 9 for Florida. Call came from the side judge right on the Tennessee bench. Everybody, all those eyes are out there on that Tennessee bench yelling to that official.
Holding, number 9 on the offense. That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Repeat, second down.
Lewis Murphy called for the foul, number 9. Well, the team with the most rush yards, as we said. Victorious 15 of the last 17 times. Tennessee coming off last year's game in which they rushed for -11 on 17 carries. Second down and 3. I keep thinking back to what Urban Meyer told Tracy at halftime. The first 5 minutes are going to really be significant in this one. Left side, Harvin, one-on-one. They got him on an island, and he's got a first down at the 49-yard line.
You got to be careful with Harvin right now if you're Florida. I might get him out of the game. He was the one who chased Eric Berry all the way down the field, and now he runs back-to-back plays. He looks gassed, and he is coming off the field. He looks gassed to me.
Yep. Hands on hips, and he'll take a spot on the sideline.
That's where you start missing Andre Caldwell now. Now you got to bring in another receiver.
Out of the spread again. Tebow to the 46-yard line.
You know, it's right there. There's another one of those plays. I saw that Superman cape all day in practice. I'm sick of having the coaches telling me about it, calling him Superman. And Tennessee, it was kind of fun. Music was great. The players were laughing, and they were serious about it. Wes Brown made that tackle, didn't he?
Yes, and Dan Williams is in there.
Right
yes,
there?
indeed.
Good. Tennessee has their backup defensive line in there. They got to stay fresh also.
Second down, 28-20, 6:33 to go, third quarter. Handoff, not much there. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Well, that time it was Rico McCoy coming from that linebacker spot, just crashing down the line of scrimmage to make that play. Outside linebacker, this was just a called play. Give this one to the defensive coordinator. He had this call. Watch him come down, crashing on it. You can see Wes Brown, number 94, was there in case it was an option play. Good assignment football.
Now that second team defensive line looking at Florida's 3rd and 6 now. Coordinator John Chavis, an alum at Tennessee. 3rd and 6 in a 28-20 ball game. Tennessee brings 3. Tebow dances to his left and throws it away.
He had nothing. Great coverage, great zone coverage that time. Tennessee only rushing 3 players and sitting 8 back, and Tebow had nowhere to go with the ball.
Robert Ayers, the defensive end, number 91, was the man in pursuit of number 15, and his pressure helps force a 4th down.
You know, a lot of people talked about Tennessee in their game against Cal. Remember, they had the ball in the 4th quarter, down 7 to Cal in a very emotional football game. They didn't get it done, but they hung in that game. Are they going to do it again? Yeah, you know, down 8 points with the ball. Eric Gaines got it.
Chaz Henry will punt. Jonathan Hefney is waiting at the 10. And a fair catch called by Hefney. Whoa, he muffed it. And he gets a bounce right back into his arms. A 33-yard punt, but very effective. And so Tennessee's Eric Berry with a 96-yard interception return. That's the official count. 8-point margin between these two. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Sonic, Miller Lite, Pontiac, and by the new AT&T. 5:27 to go, third quarter, 28-20 after the 96-yard interception return, the only score here in the third quarter. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, Tennessee, and Florida. And Eric Ainge, the 4-year starting quarterback, is at the controls.
And the last time he was in the game, he drove it all the way down for a touchdown, almost in a 2-minute drill.
Arian Foster, the lone. Oh, fumble! Loose ball still. Picked up. Dustin Doe, touchdown, Florida.
My. Vern, I think it was the left-handed handoff that caused this fumble. When he goes to his left, that should be a right-handed handoff. He backhands it to him with his left hand, and that little pinky finger for Eric Ainge might have caused this turnover. Let's see. I'm just wondering about it. He goes to his left. Now let's see if he hands it off left. He does. Left-handed, and it doesn't get in the middle. He doesn't set it in there and ride it. He almost throws it into him. Foster never really hands it. That backhand left-hander causes the turnover.
18-yard fumble return by Dustin Doe, 35-20. As you said during the break, Gary, sometimes it's the little things.
It is. A pinky finger. Imagine coming back for your senior year at Tennessee. You break that finger, hand the ball off to one of your sure-handed guys, Arian Foster. Yes, he did have that fumble against Penn State last year in the bowl game, but that was not his fault. That ball needed to be set in there and ridden out with that right hand. You kind of push it in there. That backhand came back to haunt Tennessee. My. Little things. Riley Cooper not going in front of the corner, and a left-handed handoff that proved to be a 7-point.
Defensive lapse and letting Cornelius Ingram loose
yes.
in the second quarter. Here's Joey Eos. That's IJJAS. And the kick is taken by Coker at the 4-yard line. Shakes the first tackle. Shakes the second. And, oh, he fumbled again. My gracious.
And they called that a fumble. The beanbags went out right away on that one.
And it's Tennessee. This was Creer, not Coker. Oh, here Creer recovered it.
Yes, Marcus Coker was the runner. The ball comes out. Lennon Creer, the true freshman, picks it up and tries to run with it. Oh, that's one of those. Please fall out of play. Yeah, we'll go. No, he got it.
First down at the 41, and time called now by Steve Shaw. I think this play may be under review. I'm quite certain that's why.
Was his knee down? Is that going to be the question? Whether Coker's knee was down to begin with? If that was the case, it would back it up 6, 7, 8 yards, I guess.
You'll notice in college football, we don't have officials going into the voting box.
Right. They bring it out to them.
Yeah,
huh?
that's right.
Ball's coming loose. I think that ball's loose. That's a clear fumble.
Sure.
This should be rather quick. I want to keep these games under 5 hours.
Oh. And it's not a matter of possession here. Clearly, Tennessee regained possession after. So this is where will play begin.
Right.
It's a
It'll be
matter of-
quick, you know, just
Yeah,
1-on-1. We'll be sure on it.
After review, video confirms the call on the field. It was a fumble recovered by Tennessee. It'll be 1st and 10.
Nice, efficient
Yes.
use of the
real
replay.
quick,
Yep.
real quick. I like the way they run it out. Don't have to trot over there.
Right.
Draw the screen, make a big deal out of it. Just hurry up, send somebody out there. Let's hear it.
Been a few big plays today. Brandon James, punt return. Eric Berry, interception return. And then Dustin Doe's fumble return for a touchdown. 1st and 10. Foster, Arian Foster, is the running back. They hand it to him. He's got a lead block. He goes right, stiff arm, and bounces to the outside. Very significant. Eric Ainge telling us on the phone it's not a big deal, but it's proving to be.
Nobody talked about this either, that he was handing off to his left. See how he just bounces it in there? You don't get the ride when you hand off. As a quarterback, when you hand off to the left, you hand off with your right hand. When you hand off to the right, you hand off with your left hand and you ride the ball. He's doing it with his left hand on both sides.
2nd down 4. 35-20, under 5 to go. 3rd quarter. Flag. This will be a pre-snap penalty.
Before the snap, false start on the left tackle, number 54. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
Eric Young, well, one of the significant plays in the bowl game, the Outback Bowl. Arian Foster, a 10-10 game, went to his right, hit by Penn State, picked up, and returned for a touchdown to break the 10-10 tie. As a reminder of that moment, Gary.
Yeah, he has that picture in his locker. Started out great this year to remind me. He hasn't run away from it. He's used it to motivate himself.
Ainge, right side, Austin Rogers. Not the quickest of wide receivers, and Wandy Pierre-Louis, number 4, is there to make the tackle. And a little more on Arian Foster. Here's Trace.
That's right, guys. Offensive coordinator David Cutcliffe told us that it really had a big effect on him. He would see Foster in the offseason running for hours with the ball tucked under his arm. Cutcliffe said that fumble has made him not only a better player, but a better person.
That one was on him. The one in this game was not. 3rd and 3. Right side. Batted down by Dustin Doe, the young man who just had the 18-yard fumble return.
Right. I thought Dustin might be fortunate. See how he's turning around to look? I think he's looking to see if he got interference. Looked like he had his left arm. Yeah, he did. He grabbed the tight end. See that left arm right there? He gets up, made a good play, and then he kind of looks around like, did anybody see I took that cookie jar cookie out there? Get away with it.
It'll be 4th down. Brandon James, who opened the scoring in this game on the first punt of the afternoon, he returned that one 83 yards. Colquitt, when he missed last week's game, it was the first time in 71 Tennessee games that a member of the Colquitt kicking family was not involved. No fair catch.
Shouldn't be
He
played.
muffed it.
Shouldn't be played.
Wow, what a mistake.
Reggie Fish did it last year. Florida was the recipient of it.
Recovered by Brandon James after he muffed it inside the 10.
See, that's because you're a great player and you come to Florida. You're saying, I want to make a play. I don't have any chances. It's always Percy. It's always this guy. And James wanted to make a play there, and he tried too hard. That was a forced play, and it almost came back to burn Florida. See, he's trying to dodge and catch at the same time. And Florida's very fortunate, very, very fortunate. It didn't turn into an Arkansas nightmare like last year.
Now, before this one is over, we'll have the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler. We've got a variety of choices so far. And from the 1-yard line, with 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, Tim Tebow and the Florida offense, Keyston Moore and Eric Rutledge are in the backfield with him.
I'd like to see the play-action pass bomb here. That's what they're going to get.
Guess what? Deep left side, Percy Harvin got it to 50.
I couldn't play, but I could call the plays.
You're having a pretty good afternoon.
That's what it is. See, that's what this offense has. The play-action play with the quarterback. Everybody thinks it's going to be it, and then throw the bomb. This is the only offense that you can have where you can run a play-action pass with just the quarterback. You don't have to fake it to anybody. Man, oh, man.
Can I call you just early Monday morning?
And, I can't make 5% on my savings either. I put it in buy all these stocks and nothing happens.
Expect a phone call. Keyston Moore. That's for 4 yards to the 46-yard line. Now you've got Percy Harvin, Tim Tebow involved here, Gary.
Yeah, obviously Tim's on the left. Fake the play down, dips in there, and throws a strike to Percy Harvin right on the fingertips. I don't think there's any doubt. Nobody questioned whether Tebow could throw the ball downfield. It's when he faces an LSU or an intricate Tennessee defense when they're behind. Can he throw all the intricate pass routes? He may never have to. This offense is so different. He might not have to.
Here's the handoff, right side. It's Harvin. After the 49-yard catch, he's tackled. That'll bring up a third down. And it gives us this moment to go back to the studio for a Liberty Mutual update. Here's Tim.
Fellas, it may be the year of the directional school. You want no part of South Florida or Central Florida. George O'Leary's team hanging tough. Kevin Smith takes it in. It's 23-17. Texas Athletic Director DeLoss Dodge may be wondering why he agreed to Keith Tribble, the old Orange Bowl director and former Florida guard, to play that game in Orlando. Vern.
Yes, I saw the name of the new stadium, and it said they were undefeated at home. First game.
That's good for George O'Leary, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a guy that kind of got caught in the wash, in my opinion. Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
those who don't remember.
I feel bad. He's a good football coach. The Notre Dame thing could have been his, right?
Well, he was named head coach at Notre Dame, and then there was a falsification on his resume, and he paid a very heavy price for it, obviously. Eric Ainge, who the little pinky. Yeah,
that's huge. Last year was the ankle. This year, remember that ankle injury was hurt against South Carolina on a quarterback draw. Do you remember that?
That's right.
That's how he hurt that ankle.
A questionable play call, perhaps?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And remember the Notre Dame game, his freshman year? Shoulder injury, same kind of a deal.
No, I was in another life at that point. I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were.
I think I was doing Illinois, Wisconsin, or something like that.
You were working with that water boy guy. First down and 10. Rutledge is the fullback, number 29, at the 40-yard line, 1:40 to go. Here's Tebow with the pitch. That's Faison out of the backfield, number 11.
Number 33, Jonathan Hefty, makes the stop.
Well, we're early in the season, of course, but look at the current poll. USC, LSU, and Oklahoma. And, of course, the final regular season poll, they do remember that one.
Yes, sir. Remember, USC didn't go.
Right.
Oklahoma had to play LSU when they had the 2 championship games that year, wasn't it? They had a championship game A and championship game B.
You know what?
Remember that?
This is our first game, and it's week 3.
Oh, look at that one.
Here's a toss.
Look at that one.
And already the BCS has reared its ugly head.
Yeah, I know, but
you're changing your mind.
You know what I like about it, though, Vern, is nobody used to care about any other conference before. You know, whether it's Southeastern football, you couldn't get somebody on the West Coast to watch one of these games, and the people down here wouldn't care about it. A Pac-10 game if you served free beer. Well, that might be stretching it. Okay.
Take overs on that.
Now everybody's interested in everybody. Now if they could just clean it up a bit more, get 4 of them in it, I think they might have something.
You'd like a +1?
Or something like that.
Something? Okay. Because I know we're going to talk about this every week until mid-December. Here's Tebow, steps back. Here's Lewis Murphy. He goes the other way, into the corner, tipped and incomplete. That was Harvin, who had gone deep, and Murphy was open about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, but this was a design play, the matchup of Percy Harvin against Ryan Carl, the linebacker. Carl is the guy that has to run with him. He's a linebacker over Percy Harvin. And watch him beat him to the spot and make the play. You've got to take that matchup if you're a quarterback. And Ryan Carl does a great job of staying with Percy Harvin.
Well, the ball is inside. It's at the 32, so it would be a 49-yard field goal.
Right.
They will pass on that.
No, and I think this is smart.
Okay. David Nelson is on the field, number 83. He's wide to the left.
I wonder if Superman can pooch punt, too.
Ooh, probably. Pulls back.
Got nothing. He's got nothing.
And drills it. That's David Nelson. His third catch of the season, the sophomore out of Wichita Falls, Texas.
David Nelson is 7th or 8th on my depth chart of wide receivers, okay? And when he came out on this play, Tennessee had it defensed, and Tebow had nothing. But David Nelson did a nice job just kind of finding a hole over here. Watch him. Starts one way. He's covered. He goes back to his left. Finds a little hole, and Tebow throws a strike. Wow, what a play.
Fourth down conversion for the Gators. That's the end of 3 with our score 35-20 Florida. We'll return to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium right after this word from your local station. We welcome you back for the fourth quarter in Gainesville. One of the traditions here at University of Florida, the singing of We Are the Boys by the Gator crowd. And as we begin the fourth, it's first down and 10 at the 19. Reverse, Harvin looks for a block, cuts inside. He is to the 5, spins, touchdown Gators. They have a variety of methods.
Just got so many ways
in which to attack.
I mean, they've got, 6 sharp knives and 20 different ways to use them. I mean, it's unbelievable on this offense. Great job, I don't know who it was, of not getting a clip on that play to the outside. One of the wide receivers to the outside put his hands up in the air and just let Harvin beat his guy.
That is a 99-yard drive.
Yeah, Percy Harvin's put on about 10 pounds, and he's just as quick. I want to put up their speeds that we...
Dead ball, false start, 55 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We'll retry.
Mike Pouncey with the move and a flag. So we'll re-kick it. Percy Harvin. 99-yard drive. He, of course, caught the 48-yard pass on the first play from the 1. Here's Eos with the kick, and it's good.
Well, they run a few options, and now this time they bring Ingram back into the middle. Run the option, fake, and then pitch it back to Harvin. Right side of your screen, see if one of the receivers laid off. Yes, it was Nelson again. 2 good plays by your number 7 receiver. One a big catch and another one not to make a silly play.
42-20, first play, fourth quarter.
It's the most talked about series of the fall. Now it's time to judge for yourself.
People will be like, whoa.
Kid Nation premieres CBS Wednesday.
Jumbo popcorn chicken, huh?
I know, and how about this creamy chipotle sauce?
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, this is totally portable, you know?
Yeah, you could sneak this into a movie theater if you want.
Yeah.
Or a baseball game.
Yep,
You know?
or another Sonic.
What are you saying, that you would just bring these over to another Sonic and then just kind of sit there and eat them?
Got him!
Jumbo popcorn chicken. Now at Sonic. Portable all-white meat chicken with our new creamy chipotle sauce or any of our other great sauces. Pay the Sonic way. Swipe your credit or My Sonic card from your car.
Fred Flintstone, an employee of Slate Rock Gravel Company. His wife, Wilma, a stay-at-home mom. Yet on this working man's salary, how did Wilma afford a necklace made of huge rocks?
Mr. Slate pays well, but he doesn't pay that well.
An investigation would reveal that Fred had the Flintmobile insured with Geico, saving the couple untold amounts of money. Their friendship with the Rubbles would soon become strained.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And now, it's time for our Geico scoring recap.
And we've got a variety of elements in this one. Opening punt of the game, 83 yards, Brandon James. That one put Florida up 7-0. Lincoln from 28 made it 7-3. And then Tim Tebow, step forward, step back, touchdown to Riley Cooper, his third catch of the year for a touchdown. Lincoln with a 22-yard field goal, cut the margin to 8. And then Tim Tebow up the middle for 7 yards, running touchdown, 21-6 Gators. Cornelius Ingram left alone, wide open in the end zone, another touchdown, that from 20 yards out. And then Chris Brown, Gary called this one 28-13 on a 15-yard pass from Ainge. And Eric Berry, the true freshman, 96 yards with the interception return, ties him for third longest in Tennessee history. The fumble, Arian Foster, as Eric Ainge couldn't make the exchange with his left hand. Dustin Doe picked it up. And then the Tennessee team went 99 yards on a drive, the touchdown just a moment ago. Harvin scoring on a 19-yard run, and it's a 42-20 Florida lead. Reason to celebrate if you're a member of the Gator Band.
Yeah, and all the talk has been about USC, obviously, Oklahoma, and LSU, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know, the defending champions look like they got some firepower. If they're allowed to grow that defense, all those young players, because you can see they don't have much of a pass rush yet. Boy, you never know. Could it be something like LSU gets them early in Baton Rouge, and then Florida comes back and plays them again? Wouldn't that be something? Not to discount anybody else, but looks like this Florida team's going to get nothing but better.
Here's the kick by Eos, walk-on, who just earned a scholarship this year. And here's LaMarcus Coker out to the 24-yard line, from which spot Tennessee takes over. Eric Ainge and the Tennessee offense on. They cut it to 8, 28-20, now trailed by 22. Now Red Lobster presents today's scholar athlete. It's Joey Eos, majoring in architecture with a grade point average of 3.09 and an active member of the Goodwill Gators program. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown by donating $1,000 to the University of Florida's General Scholarship Fund. There's a delay of game call. So pre-snap penalty.
And that's that 15-second rule that caught Eric Ainge on that one. Remember, they come back with just 15 seconds instead of 25.
That's a new rule. Here's Steve Shaw, who will
dead ball,
confirm that.
Delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, it just occurred to me, Gary, you were talking about LSU, Oklahoma, Southern Cal. Of course, Southern Cal with a big one tonight at Nebraska. Right. LSU got all the buzz after that victory against Virginia Tech, deservedly so. Right. And Florida now making a claim for equal strength in the conference.
I think Florida likes their spot. Kind of sneak it up. It worked for them last year. Remember that? Nobody talked about them early. People talked about them late. And they turned out to be the best team at the end of the year.
Another penalty as this one's gotten sloppy. The play is allowed to stand. It's after the 30-yard line. And tight end Chris Brown makes the tackle. 42-20. Well, barring something really out of the ordinary, we're going to be in Baton Rouge on the night of the 6th of October to watch the Florida Gators against the LSU Tigers. That could be something. False start.
And it's so hard if you're a quarterback to beat a great athletic team without a running game. And it's happening again. Look at that. Back-to-back years, 5 total yards rushing. Minus 11 last year and just 16 this year. And by the way, just to point out, not a sack in the football game. So this one isn't tainted by sacks.
Right. Arian Foster is alongside Eric Ainge. Josh McNeil snaps it back. Foster heads left, doesn't get a lot of blocking help. and as a result is forced out of bounds at the 20-yard line by Wandy Pierre-Louis, number 4, a young man who started playing as a freshman in high school after his mom brought him from his native Haiti to Naples. So still learning a lot of techniques.
And think about this: if you're Florida, this is a major football powerhouse, have lost all 4 of their corners from last season. Their 2 starters, their 2 main backups, and Reggie Nelson. That's a big, big loss in a secondary.
4-man Florida rush. Ainge comes right, has Austin Rogers open, and he's got a first down at the 37-yard line. That's a gain of 16. Rogers tackled by Jacques Rickerson, number 23. 42-20, 14:01 remaining. Little flip. Arian Foster one-on-one. Slips the tackle of Jacques Rickerson, number 23, and is stopped by Tony Joyner, number 19.
Run out of bounds by number 19.
Well, a lot of, as we said, a lot of significant games here in week 3. Nebraska hosting Southern Cal tonight. LSU at home against Middle Tennessee. West Virginia defeated Maryland the other night. How about Noel Devine, number 4?
Yeah, I know he did a nice job, didn't he? Oklahoma looks like they're struggling. 54-3.
Texas is struggling at Central Florida. Second down for Tennessee. Ainge. Right side, Josh Briscoe, number 81. Double teamed and down at the 50-yard line. Tony Joyner again. Dustin Doe was there to help. You alluded to the fact that Joyner almost was dismissed from the team.
Yeah, and he's going to be the Brendan Seiler this year. He's going to be the leader, the outward guy. But this guy might be a key player for Florida. Major Wright. He's playing more and more for Kyle Jackson, the starter, and they think he could be someday their Reggie Nelson. Big-time hitter, another true freshman playing a lot of minutes for Florida.
Pressure's coming. Foster goes right, spikes, misses the tackle. Rickerson is there to force him out of bounds, and one of the assistant coaches knocked off his feet.
John Rickerson runs him out of bounds at the 46. Gain of 4.
Clock stops, gain of 4. 42-20.
Arian Foster, such a smooth running back. He doesn't have that breakaway game, but he's so smooth in this college game right here.
Bothered. Oh, hello, Smokey. Never looks like a happy dog, but really doesn't look very pleased right now.
He said, I saw this for 3 years here. This running game's killing me, man.
What the dog can do. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Applebee's, Progressive, Coke Zero, and by the Nissan Titan. 12:56 to go, 42-20. Florida. Tennessee had cut the margin to 8 at 28-20. And the backbreaker seems to have been a 99-yard drive for a touchdown. Percy Harvin got it from 19 yards out. LaMarcus Coker is in the backfield now. Stunts and the blitz. And Coker hit up high and driven down by Latrell Alford, number 99. It's McMillan, I beg your pardon. Let's go back to Tim Brando in New York.
Vern, Urban Meyer's old school Utah is winless this year, so it would be big if they could pull off an upset of UCLA. Tommy Grady, a 12-yard pass to Darrell Mack, 14-6, the Utes. Kyle Whittingham has been at Utah for 14 years, his 3rd year as a head coach. Back to Vern.
All right, thank you, Tim.
Tommy Grady, I think, is a transfer from Oklahoma to Utah.
3rd and 7. That one.
Get up both hands.
Yes. Austin Rogers hit it with his left. And that was about all she wrote.
We've seen how effective the left hand has been today. Got to go for it on 4th down. What happened here? Why didn't he get it? You know, Austin always tries real hard. What happened here? Why did he only get one hand up? I have no idea.
Now, wait a minute.
I have no idea.
You're having a heck of a day up here, and then you're exasperated.
Why did he only put up one hand? His right hand was free the whole time. That's kind of embarrassing. I wouldn't want that one showed if I was a receiver on that play.
4th and 7. Blitz. Incomplete. And the ball goes over on downs as Joe Hayden, number 12, the true freshman, former high school quarterback.
I'll tell you what, you give that to Charlie Strong and Greg Madison. That was a really well-hidden blitz, and Eric Ainge had no idea what was happening. He thought it was a corner blitz, but it was a corner blitz with a roll-up behind it. He never knew it was coming, and Major Wright was right in the way. Great call by the... Look at exactly the way to do it.
.12:05 to go, 4th quarter. Florida up 42-20. Keyston Moore alongside Tim Tebow, who's making his first SEC start as a sophomore quarterback. And he's been pretty good. Here's Tebow stepping back. Goes deep, right side, man. Caught!
Oh, my goodness.
How about that, Percy Harvin?
Oh, my goodness. You know what? My first thought is he was trying to knock the ball out of the way from behind like a point guard. Coming from behind to knock it out of the way so it wasn't intercepted, and he makes the catch. Ball was underthrown. Watch Percy here. Now tell me if you don't think he's trying to come down and knock this ball down and save it. And he doesn't. He just bounces it to himself and makes the catch. He's going to try to knock it down and hits him in the shoulder, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, D'Angelo Willingham with pretty good coverage on the play.
Yeah, wasn't a great throw. It was underthrown by maybe 10 to 12 yards. Percy Harvin could have got deeper on that one.
Percy Harvin, the offensive MVP in the championship game against Ohio State. Now 4 catches, 120 yards. Here's Tebow. Touchdown.
Well, last year Urban Meyer said he didn't care about style points. He's got a lot of style points here. I don't want to say anything. That's a lot of style points right there, 48-20. I think that's just all you'll see of Tim Tebow. I would get the backup quarterback in there and ready just in case. Give him a little snaps the rest of this game.
Kick is up and good, and Percy Harvin with Tim Tebow slapping him on the back. Tim Tebow, St. Augustine, Florida. Guy's pretty gifted.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
And another look at the touchdown run of Tim Tebow, Gary.
Yeah, he sets up his blockers. He's big. You can't arm tackle him. You can throw the deep ball. He works out harder than anybody on the team. Drinks milk Saturday night, reads the Bible on Sunday. Did you see that article in the school newspaper? One of the guys was complaining about that Timbo has it all. He's good looks, quarterback, you know, manners. It's making it rough on everybody else to impress the girls around here. He says.
Did you just call him Timbo?
Oh, well, did I? All right, close enough. That's a new one.
Yes, that's
Timbo.
right.
Tebow.
Timbo works.
Yeah.
That's a new one, you know. As
Close enough. I think
Jimbo.
everybody will.
Joey Sorrentino made the tackle in. And Eric Ainge, we were just speculating that they might pull Eric Ainge.
Well, you know, you'd hate to see Eric Ainge.
Not pull him.
Yeah,
substitute
him. Just kind of make it safe. You know, I talked to Phil Fulmer when I was out at practice, and he said he thought if he could get through this week without re-injuring it, he'd be fine the rest of the year and might be able to take some tape off of that. So now do you risk, you know, you don't want somebody fall on that finger because he has to stay healthy for Tennessee to make a run on a big bowl game.
Here's Ainge, inside pattern with slant pass. Josh Briscoe makes the tackle. And Dorian Monroe, number 20. Josh Briscoe made the catch. Monroe made the tackle.
Well, you could see the difference. Last year, Tennessee had Robert Meacham, Brett Smith, Jason Swain, and they had that big playability out there. Now, it's just not there. It really isn't. Everything has to be perfect. They've given up back-to-back, well, not back-to-back games, but Cal and now Florida, games where they gave up 2 punt returns and 2 defensive touchdowns. How can you win when you don't have firepower on offense and you've given up 4 non-offensive touchdowns against tough competition?
Well, Eric Ainge, in our conversation, we had a chat with him on Wednesday. He said, listen, the season, if we get defeated, no matter the margin, if we lose at Florida, the season is not over, and he used Florida's loss to Auburn as an example.
You know what I think their big game of their year is? Georgia.
In 2 weeks.
Yes, I think that's a huge game for them.
Yep. And that one will be on CBS.
But same look again. This is what got him last time.
What a pop by Major Wright.
This is what got him on 4th down play before. It's the same look. He's never seen this. Remember I said Eric knows what he's going to. Here's Major Wright. Going to get the corner blitz, but he comes over here and throws back to the outside. Watch this little intricate zone blitz package. Major Wright's right there, and you don't have it. You think you're going to throw that ball there? They know that's the checkoff to Eric Ainge, and this was a defensive front and a defensive package that was put in that Eric Ainge had never seen before. Major Wright pressing Kyle Jackson for a starting spot. He is a true freshman, highly recruited as a high school senior. Here's Colquitt. End over end kick. It bounces in front of Brandon James, and there's a legal block that knocks the Tennessee player out of the way. A 45-yard punt. Nothing on the return. That blocked. Now let's go back to Tim Brando in New York.
Vern, I'm going to take you down the interstate in the Sunshine State. On 4th down, George O'Leary goes for it. Kyle Israel gets it in, and Central Florida leading number 6 Texas by 1 with over 13 minutes remaining. We'll keep you posted down I-95.
Well, I got to borrow a phrase from my friend Dick Enberg. Oh, my. How about that? Left side. Here's Keyston Moore, the junior out of Arlington, Texas. Well, one of the highlights last spring was the appearance on campus of country music superstar Kenny Chesney. And on your right, out of the crowd from backstage, Tim Tebow. He's there with Butch Rowley. Kenny Chesney joining in. What do they sing? Something about a tractor?
I
do you
don't
love
know.
My tractor?
Well,
you don't
they
follow.
know it. That's all I know. Yeah, he's a Tennessee guy, but everybody knows Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Or Timbo, as I like to call him.
Kenny Chesney knows.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
everybody
knows it. I'm surprised Tebow's in the game. I have to be honest. I just think back. Remember the Alabama disaster with Prothro?
Sure.
That game was
do I ever.
Out of,
yep. Yeah.
You know, I mean, hey, it's my job to second guess and first guess and everything else. But
well, what you're talking about is Alabama up over Florida in the 4th quarter. Mike Shula decided to throw the bomb to Tyrone Prothro.
Yes, something like that.
And it cost him his career.
I mean, what if it's some little disaster? I just, the game's over here. I'd be wanting to play my backups in case something happens and give them some minutes. Kind of twofold reason to take the quarterback out.
9 minutes to go in this one. Here's Murphy. And Tebow will run it. I don't know about that.
Well, I just can't believe that call.
Well, Urban Meyer leaves Tebow in and has him run. And let's go down to the sideline. Here's Trace.
Thanks, guys. I'm actually here with Kenny Chesney, and I think he sang, "She thinks my tractor is sexy." Isn't that what he sang? How was he?
Oh, luckily for Florida fans, he's a lot better quarterback. He's a horrible singer.
How would you do if you had to go in there?
Oh, well, I couldn't see over the line of scrimmage. I promise you.
I can attest for that.
Yeah,
You're about my height.
Yeah, I couldn't do very well out there.
You're a big Tennessee fan. You grew up in Knoxville.
Yeah.
How do you allow a Gator up on stage and How do you put that Gator helmet on?
Well, you know what? I grew up in Knoxville, and I love Tennessee football more than anything. But Tim and Nelson and a lot of those guys have been to a lot of shows, and I don't know. They just made their way up there, you know. But they had a lot of fun. We did too.
Can we ask you about the Red Sox hat?
What's the score? I hope they're winning. But I love the Red Sox too. I'm a big sports fan. I love it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. See you later.
Well, the Red Sox are winning 6-1, so Tracy, who's the world's largest Yankee fan, is not happy. Here's Tebow again. My goodness, on fourth down. Gary, I go back.
I'm just on record.
I'm with you. What in the world?
I know. I mean, you know, coach makes $3 million plus. I make probably $2 million. You know what I mean?
I need to talk to the guy you pay 10% to. If you pay 10% to him.
I wouldn't be doing it if it was me. That's all I'll say. I mean, listen, the guy took his team to the national championship, so he can run it any way he wants. But I'm just up here telling you I wouldn't be doing it.
First down and 10.
There's Newton on the right, Brantley, number 12. I'd take a guy. I'd put Kenny Chesney in there running it before I'd have Tebow run it.
Here's Tebow. Lewis Murphy. He's got him open. Well, maybe that's why he's in there. No, I know.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. I mean, this guy can throw. I mean, Tennessee has. Who's calling these plays? Steve Spurrier?
44-yard gain. Tebow's now 1 yard short of 300 in this one.
Murphy hadn't. Is that his first catch? I don't remember him catching. That might be his second of the day, right? Second of the day. He's an outstanding looking player, too. Oh, well.
David Nelson goes wide right. Harvin in the slot. Brandon James is in the backfield now. He has only 2 carries all year. And Steve Shaw blows the whistle. The referee. Timeout called by Florida. 49-20, 7:54 to go. $7:54 to go. Tim Tebow still on the field in the face of a 29-point Florida lead. Danny Werfel and Doug Johnson, the only two who defeated Tennessee in their first start, is Brandon James. Right side, it'll be first and goal from the 7-yard line. And we'll spend a moment back in our New York studios. Once again, Tim Brandon.
Vernon, Gary, I don't think there's any question the Pac-10 was trying to lay claim to being a powerful contender to the SEC, particularly with Washington playing as well as they were. But Ohio State's Brandon Singh goes in from 37 yards out. Washington outscored 30-7 by the Buckeyes. Ohio State wins it 33-14. But the Pac-10 is contending with the SEC for supremacy this year.
I kind of thought Tyrone Willingham's team would be a little more competitive in that one. Right?
Well, Ohio State has such a solid defense.
Right.
You know, I mean, they're going to stay in every game.
Keyston Moore is the deep back now behind Tebow. And Moore gets the handoff and he stutter step to the right and drives down to the 2-yard line. Well, let's take a look at the non-conference record. Big East 9-3, Big Ten 19-4. There's a blemish on there from Boone, North Carolina. Yeah. Pac-10 is 12-3. The SEC 11-3. The Big 12. You want to rank the conferences? Or no?
SC Pac-10, I think, are the top two.
Okay.
But Oklahoma and Texas can play with anybody. And the Big East is right there, making inroads. South Florida's win was huge.
Flag is thrown. Looks like the umpire put the hanky on the floor.
Substitution violation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And so they'll mark it back 5 yards. I'm curious. We were just chatting here during the break. This is a Florida team that had a number of 1-point wins last year against Tennessee, against South Carolina here. Had to win late and get some help to get. Do you think Urban Meyer might be going for style? I know he's going to say no, But what do you think? Is he going for style points with the voters here?
You know, after what he saw LSU and Oklahoma do, you know, maybe he's thinking that in a tiebreaker, I need to have more impressive wins. You know, he proved he can do it by being in the toughest conference and winning out. But, you know, all I can think of is he just feels that I want more points on this thing and enter my name, Florida's name, in the argument to be number one in the conversation.
Sure.
I don't know, like right there. What happens if Tebow goes down, picks up that ball, and as he's picking it up, the guy jumps on him and he sprains his ankle or something like that? I mean, it's happened before. I got to tell you.
And Tebow with the fumble. Xavier Mitchell was there, and it's 3rd and goal.
I mean, you could hit your thumb on a guy's helmet or something. It can be so innocent. I don't mind running it up with backups.
Right? Oh, my goodness. Tebow's down at the 7-yard line. It'll be 4th down. Rico McCoy with a tackle.
Maybe he is Superman. Maybe they just don't think he can get hurt. Quarterback draw. What's that, the 17th run in this game? And now he could have got a knee to the helmet right there.
18th run.
18th run. If I was Tennessee, I'd be going after him. I can guarantee you. If it was other leagues I played in.
Joey Eos with the field goal. That is his 2nd of his career. 2 for 2 for Eos. Well, I wonder if he's through now. 52-20. And now it's time for the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler with the call, Mick Huber of the Florida Gator Radio Network.
A single setback is Arian Foster. Here's a handoff to Foster. He fumbles the football. A loose ball down to the field. It's up for grabs. Picked up by Dustin Doe. He's going to take it all the way. There you go. Dustin Doe. Oh, my. Dustin Doe does it. And the Gator defense scores. Oh, my.
That came with a score 28-20, extended the lead to 35-20, and Florida hasn't looked back since. Dustin Doe with the 18-yard fumble return. That's our 5-star Wrangler play of the game. 4:55 to go. And high school teammates are deep now. 2 freshmen from Tatum High School, little town east of Shreveport, or west of Shreveport, near Tyler and Longview. That is Lennon Creer, and the man next to him is his high school teammate, number 83, Denarius Moore. Trooper Taylor was there to look at Lennon Creer, and he said he looked at number 83 and he said, boy, this kid can play too.
He said he really puts his foot in the ground and breaks. He said he can play.
Squib kick taken by Creer finally, and back to the 19-yard line. 4:51 to go.
You're going to see more and more of that stuff, those squib kicks, pooch punk kicks, and things like that.
Well, among those interested on the sideline, there's a very familiar, dignified face of Chris Leak, Florida quarterback for 4 years and quarterback of the national championship team. I think one of my favorite pictures was the picture of him holding the crystal football at the end of the game, surrounded by all the confetti.
It was like tearing up all those doubts all around him, just kind of like shriveling.
Jonathan Crompton is in at quarterback, so Eric Ainge is apparently done for the day.
Yeah, that's smart. Probably should have, my mind happened one series earlier, but remember we saw Crompton against LSU last year. What was the Arkansas game he played also?
Mm-hmm. Now Chris Leak at the end. 2nd down and 8. That's Creer, the freshman. Well, here was the picture of the entire team around the Crystal Trophy. Chris Leak signed as a free agent with the Chicago Bears, cut just before the regular season began. I think he's living in Orlando, trying to keep in shape just in case he gets a call. Left side, Crompton. Catch is made at the 31-yard line. Texas Central Florida, what's going on there? Let's go back to Timmy B and find out.
Vern, you can make a case that the hash marks now with the spread offense is really coming to play more in the kicking game than any place else. Ryan Bailey from 40 yards out gets it done. Still 8 minutes plus remaining. Longhorns by 2 over Central Florida in Orlando. Vern?
And new quarterback warming up on the Florida sideline, so Tebow might be through. Here's a screen pass. Left side. And the catch made. Josh Briscoe makes the catch and motors down the left side. Well, Eric Ainge for the day. 26 of 41, 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he's through for the day.
Yeah, I think he's showed exactly what he is as a quarterback. Great leader, really into his game, playing, you know, with new players. They've had to replace all those wide receivers, and I still, like I say, I'd say he's 80% maybe with that hand. Hopefully he gets it better and can get healthy as this year goes on, because he's going to have to be the guy. I mean, what, 29 yards rushing again for Tennessee in this game? And not a sack in the game for Florida.
First down and 15 with 3:09 to go. Greer, number 3, is alongside Crompton. Tipped and knocked down. Well, 16 years now for Philip Fulmer as the head coach, and the most points allowed under him, 62-37. Peyton Manning was the quarterback.
Wow. Red flag for me today in Florida, Vern?
Yep.
No pass rush.
Ooh, good point. Well, we got 3 and dropping 8 now, but when the game was on the line,
they weren't doing that.
Nope, nothing there. From behind, Crompton hit as he lets it go, and it is incomplete. 3rd and 14.
Yeah, that's the big red flag on this team. They lived with those defensive ends and tackles, 4, 5, 6 sacks. You know, when you're on the road and things are going against you and you need a big play and you can't come up with it, a sack can do that for you. Looks like, you know, that they're able to slant towards Harvey, and Harvey is not having the impact because he doesn't have the guys around him this year.
Well, I'm thinking of Ray McDonald.
Yep.
Joe Cohen.
Jarvis Moss.
Stephen Harris. Yeah, they had a bunch. Intercepted. Picked off. Left side. The catch is made, and down at the 19-yard line, Jeremy Finch, and he's hurt his knee.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Probably the #1 safety in the country this year, Jeremy Finch. Everybody thought he was either going to go to Michigan or Indiana. The last second, he turns his eyes to Florida. They've got him playing a rover position. Great athlete. Watch him turn and intercept this thing. Wow, that's a nice play. Look how big he is. They got him as like a hybrid. He was a safety in college, but got that knee bent. See, that's what worries me about Tebow right there. Just if they turn him, fall on a leg, and all of a sudden, there it goes.
Yep. So Jeremy Finch, this highly recruited young man listed as a safety and playing both linebacker and safety. Down at the 29-yard line. Urban Meyer out. Oh, dear.
Yeah. He's just a spectacular athlete. One of the many. Florida had their top recruiting class in the country. Remember, the SEC, the Southeastern Conference, had 6 out of the top 10 recruiting classes. It's the type of athletes that are coming into this league, and none better than that class Florida had last year.
Cameron Newton is in at quarterback, so Tebow is through for the day. Here's a freshman quarterback, a big one, 6'5", 243, out of high school. So a true freshman. He's down to the ball down to the 25-yard line. Javon Walker makes the carry. Now the Ruby Tuesday player of the game, Tim Tebow, 14 of 19, 1 yard shy of 300. 2 touchdowns and interception. He rushed for 62 and had 2 touchdowns on the ground.
We're going to see how good that SID staff of Florida is when they hunt the film and look for one more yard for Tebow passing tomorrow. I'll bet you by Tuesday he's a 300 pass.
301.
Oh, yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, that's right. That would be too easy.
Yeah, you can't settle for 300.
Further review, they found another pass that was 301. What do you want, Ben?
Here's the keeper left side, Newton.
Oh,
hello. Oh, dear.
He knows how to become a crowd favorite, doesn't he?
It's Tim Tebow.
Yeah, look at Tebow.
Oh, my.
Look at everybody. He knows how to get the crowd. He watched it on TV last year. You just run over guys at quarterback here.
Newton thought it was 4th and 1. And
turn up.
Boom.
Roll right over Rogan. There's a freshman to freshman. 2 true freshmen right there.
Oh, that was great. Florida. You want to guess how many yards it got? No, you can't look at the stat.
It's got to almost close. It's got to be 570.
No, 540. But
there's 30 more right here.
You're in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. This is Chris Rainey. Remember we talked about that Lakeland High School team that won the 5A championship?
He's one of them.
He's another one, and they love his potential.
Let me quiz you, see if you did your reading.
Oh.
His older brother is?
Oh. I'm having a senior moment.
Don't tell anybody in the truck. Don't tell him.
I'm having a senior moment.
He hate me.
Rod Smart.
Rod Smart.
I did see that.
He hate me.
Yes. The only guy anybody ever remembers from the much maligned XFL.
Yep. And he says he can beat Noel Devine. Read that quote too? He said he raced Noel Devine into Walmart. I hope they weren't racing away from the Walmart, if you know what I mean.
First and goal, 1:19 remaining. Newton, touchdown. They've hung 58 on him.
See, I got no problem with this.
Right.
You got the backups in there. It's Tennessee's job to stop them. That was great. A lot of hard work to play college football, both in Tennessee and here at Florida. You get a chance to play, you have every right to go out there if you're Cameron Newton and lay it all out there and show everybody that, you know, if something happens to the quarterback, I can play.
Extra point by Eos is up and good.
The big guy. As Bill Rapley would say, toss it into the end zone.
Send it in, big fella. Goes for Riley Cooper, end zone, touchdown. Here's the running quarterback. Touchdown, Florida. Loose ball still, picked up. Dustin Doe, touchdown. Here's Tebow, touchdown. If you're a Tennessee fan, you're probably sick of hearing that. Here's the Dennis Rogan is back, number 41. And he's out to the 34-yard line.
You know what? It might not be a good week to have call-in radio show if you're the head coach of Tennessee next week. That might be a tough one.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I made the mistake of having a call-in radio show when I played quarterback one year. So I ain't ever doing this again. You make $100 a week and take all that extra, and somebody else can do it.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right. 59-20. You know, this is just a question, but I wonder if Fulmer is going to be angry about looking at Tebow out there in the fourth quarter.
I think, you know, in my own mind, he's spent so many years in the SEC, playing, you know, against Spurrier and all the things that have happened. I think he's seen it all before. I think he has to be more concerned about Tennessee than about Florida.
Okay.
I think that might come off. You know, if he is, my advice to him would be don't let anybody else hear it, because that would sound funny if I was a Tennessee fan having somebody complain about Florida.
Sure. Ah, yes. Good point.
You know, I'd be concerned about my own team, and it's a long season.
Urban Meyer has now won 3 in a row over Philip Fulmer. They will shake hands, and a small pat on the shoulder by each. And the final score as the gun sounds in the swamp, 59-20. Tim Tebow and Percy Harvin were the stars on offense. Tebow threw for 299. He ran for 62. Harvin with 74 yards rushing. Urban Meyer's team wins it going away 59-20. If the issue's style points, they got more than a few. For Tracy Wolfson and Gary Danielson, I'm Vern Lundquist. Good night from the swamp in Gainesville.